first time actually officially meeting a brother, not face to face. Well, kind of face to face because we're on social media, but haven't met him in person. But I've read his work. He's doing a lot of different things, but we're going to chop it up in a minute and just get ready just to learn a little bit about Alonzo Gross. Welcome to the Real Level Up, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate you reaching out through Facebook to pull me over to this genre. I really appreciate it. And this is my first time actually doing one of these interviews. I know with the COVID thing going on, I'll be doing a lot more book signings like this and, reaching out this way. So I really appreciate you also giving me an introduction to this type of new technology.
No problem. No problem. Get used to it because
I've
done a number of interviews on different media platforms like Zoom, Blue Jeans, etc. Where it was just like this. I just had one about 2 weeks ago, but I was on a actual radio show, so I had to call in on the phone. So
it's interesting the stuff they have.
Any way that we can get exposure, because being an independent writer, trying to get our work out there, trying to get people to purchase our books and hear our works is work.
It's work.
No, it's work.
A lot of work. I'm sorry? Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're doing it on your own. We don't have those big publishers with all that cash.
Yeah.
We're doing it ourselves. Distribution, marketing, etc. So
it's tough, but the climb is I find pleasure in the struggle a little bit. I know it sounds funny, but I find pleasure in that struggle.
That's not really.
You know what I mean? I don't want to stay in that, but the struggle, God builds us up. He builds us up. And believe it or not, I've sent out my books to a number of bookstores, and some of them passed on me, with the book and all that. And I have to believe that it's God's plan, and that the books will get to people that they need to get to, the people that's meant to. So it's always a struggle. It's always a struggle, and it's always I always say stay humble, because it's my work, but it's the work. I believe it belongs to God. My job as a writer is just to listen more than write, but we'll get into that, all that stuff. But it's, but like I said,
the mindset to have, like you said, is even with rejection and the struggle. I understand what you're saying about, because what does it do? It builds strength. And those type of things. It's like, okay, somebody told me no, I'm not defeated. I just keep moving forward. Because like you said, that probably wasn't a yes that you needed anyway. So I'm
exactly.
forward to get the yes that God has waited for me. That's
exactly.
Anyway.
A lot of people get hooked, caught up in that. They said no, and I'm like, it isn't the right person. Just thinking about one of my favorite artists, Eminem. He sent out his tapes to people. Nobody was really, picking his music until Dr. Dre came. That's who God sent to help out that man, Dr. Dre. So I'm waiting for that, that person will come. Yeah, that person will come. Just be patient. And the important thing is I focus on the work. I don't focus on I don't think about fame or anything like that. My thing is to focus on good work. The fame is like a byproduct or a side effect of the hard work. When it's all said and done, I want the work to be respected, not the fame.
Right.
That's just how I see things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And as long as you have, and I see that, I'm going to do a little bit of your bio as well. You're into the music thing, and we know the history of all different types of music where an artist basically push their passion and their heart and all their being into their craft. Then they get with the record executives, the record they listen to, they want to change stuff.
Exactly.
It's like they're writing. They want, Alonzo, we need to change this, change that.
Yeah.
By the time they get finished with it, it's nothing.
Exactly.
It's nothing where, and I know that we're going to chop up about that too. Because in music, it's like, okay, here's my vision for where I'm going. Oh, Alonzo, we need to do this. We need to do that. And it's like, well, if you do that, it lost everything that I put into it because it's not saying the message that I want to give.
Exactly.
All the time. It's just what sells commercially.
Yeah.
So you can make money.
Exactly. And they said that a lot. What that sells, but so does truth. So does substance that does sell and it sustains. That's what I love about truth and substance in music and poetry. You could do a flash in the pan works and get it out there and get a quick likes on Facebook, but I want to put something that's out for the ages. Like some of my idols, like Shakespeare.
The Facebook Live has stopped.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what's necessary to basically keeping it real to ourselves, because we as artists, and I'm glad I have you on.
Yeah.
uh, and I had on because as a fellow poet, we can relate. We can relate to to the way we write, to our audience that we write, and the reason why we write.
Yeah.
This meeting is being broadcast on Facebook Live.
It's funny, like I said, I don't really look at that as writing as me so much as dictation. Like I'm reading a book now from Julia Cameron, where I was suffering writer's block. When she said, when you look at it like you're writing, that's when you're going to get blocked. If you look at it as listening, as receiving, and you're just taking down dictation with a few minor, changes, of translation, you don't seem to get writer's block as much. And I've been doing that. I've been journaling a lot because I would get writer's block. So I journal, and like, it's our responsibility as artists to do the workouts. Like it's like an action star, like The Rock. It's his responsibility for his audience, for him to work out and be in great shape to give a great show. It's up to us as writers to read the books that will push our mind to the limit, to give new perspectives for our writers, to listen to the music that might inspire us, the artists, bring all those perspectives in and share it. And one of those, the hardest part too, is like I said, working out is the diary, writing, and doing exercises to challenge you and push you. But these are things that you have to do if you want to call yourself an artist, and to give your audience something more than just, this is something that's going to be a flash in the pan.
So regurgitation of other stuff that's already been done.
Absolutely.
You're trying to bring something, like you said, if you're being a vessel where God is speaking through, you want the message to come out in a unique way to you.
Yeah.
For that message to get out. And it's like you said, it's not really me, it's just the pen is moving.
Yeah.
But it's flowing through me. So, because I felt that as well. When I write, I feel as though my hand is just moving on the paper, but the words are coming.
The words are coming. You have to listen. And sometimes I look funny. My wife laughs at me as I make these weird faces, but I'm listening. I really am listening for the right. And sometimes I'll be trying to write something and it's not working out, and I hear just the right whisper, and okay, and open up the floodgates for the pen to go. But it's the listening part. So that's why I always say the work. When people say I love you, and I write something on Facebook and they say I love that, I always say it loves you back, meaning the work loves you too. I wrote that for you. So when they say I love this piece also loves you too. It's supposed to be shared. But that's how I look at my work. I look at it as the work, and I'm just privileged to be able to share it and enjoy doing it as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna get started by. Basically, I'm loving the fact that we're already getting into it already, but I got to take a step back, and I want to basically read a passage of scripture, which I feel is appropriate.
Okay.
And then we'll go to our first break, and then when we come back, I want to give the folks to get to know you by reading a little bit of your bio.
Okay, great.
What I'm getting ready to read now is I just went to Hebrews.
Mm-hmm.
Hebrews, the 6th chapter, and I'm going to read the basically the 4th verse until the 4th and 5th verse. For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened and have tasted of the heavenly gift and were made partakers of the Holy Ghost and have tasted the good word of God and the powers of the world to come. So that's where I'm at with exactly as far as allowing ourselves to be used by Him. So that's the premise that we're working with. We're not working with I want fame, I want riches, it's not about that. It's about let me use my words to move other. If I'm using His words through me, it's going to move and motivate people, and that's a glory to Him. And if I'm glorifying Him, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's the part that I love the most about that. So again, ladies and
gentlemen, Zo-Alonzo Gross is dropping now. Even before we get into the first break, he's already dropped a couple of pieces of knowledge already as far as his mindset on the writer's block. And if there are any writers out there, tune in to listen to what needs to be your motivation. If you haven't gotten started, if you're already writing, how to even get into it more to find your voice, because each has a voice for each of us. Your voice is different from Alonzo's, but once you find it, your writing, you'll notice if you read your writing, you'll notice your voice is in there because he's speaking through you. So it's our first break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Level Up, Real Talk for Extraordinary People with Extraordinary Stories. We'll be right back.
me back, she don't show it. So hard to focus, cause she don't notice. I think I love her, but she don't notice. I wanna tell her, hope I don't blow it. And if she loves me back, she don't show it. So hard to focus, cause she don't notice. I can see it in her face, I can see it in her eyes. Ain't nothing out of place, ain't nothing to disguise. She's poetry, oh woe is me. She could probably hear the mystic of my heart like a cop, she know the beat. The way she walks, such a treat. It's like your favorite love song playing on repeat. Honestly, her dawn is sweet. No microwave oven blazing hot, yep, no reheat. She don't say too much, but I can tell by the way she carries herself like a third string quarterback that she don't play too much. She's like the wind, so swift. And when she come up in that room, her bliss make every single head turn and twist, just like the exorcist. Now words just can't describe her. I really wanna say that love is blind, but something's telling me not to go there, like a detour sign. So for now I'm just gonna chill like ice and keep checking my pulse, wondering why this girl be the apple of my eye. Look to the high to give me advice. If this be your dream, man, it's a rush. Can't get a grip, gonna slip, hands in the clutch. All this stress got me a mess. I know I sound a lot like a stalker more or less, but I can care less, cause in all fairness I'm keeping the secret so close to my chest, like a vest that is beating me up. It's heating me up like a volcano, unable to cease to erupt. Instead I freeze up, oh geez, my knees buck. I'm throwing out hints, but it seems that she ducks. Been around the block, I'm not afraid to admit it, though I'm the one that really got played when I did it. Off the harsh words, brave from the tongue, or acidic. Those crimes are the heart, they seldom acquitted. Driving in the fast lane, thought I was terrific, till I saw deep, then I scared it. Do it. I mean, what I gotta do to make you see? Same thing gotta do to make me free. Cause girl, it seems this is hopeless. I think I love her, but she don't notice. I think I love her, she don't notice. I wanna tell her, hope I don't blow it. And if she loves me back, she don't show it. So hard to focus, cause she don't notice. I think I love her, but she don't notice. I wanna tell her, hope I don't blow it. And if she loves me back, she don't show it. So hard to focus, cause she don't notice. Candy rain is falling like a beautiful Vegas morning. I would not give up this yearning, I would not hear this calling. I'm a mess just so appalling, but don't wanna be another pest just starving. My pet bled when I wrote this, couldn't keep my lead within the margin. Girl, sorry for the barging, but it seems you got in my noggin. Thoughts of you from the inception, from the beginning, peace to see Darwin. Could be the geek locked out your login. I really truly ain't like this often. Over my head swim fish and dolphin. In my waterbed, hope I don't fall in. I gotta be your man, it's important for you to understand how this taunting is pitiful, but you're completely undaunted. But this is so critical, this wanting. Another day scared to say something. What is my courage late for? Now it lays dormant, cause she don't love me anyway. I'm in a fight with myself, and myself got me cornered. So it's like a logical effects and a logical stance, cause it's critic in my head, it's so hard to convince. Everybody know how I feel subterfuge. You can't see the truth, but the vision is a blur. A little food for your thought, for your part, let it stir. OMG, woe is me, this shine, it's like God got me cursing, I swear. I want you, but I'm cautious. I want to be your man, be your song within your hearts, in a chorus, I need you, please hear me. I'll feed thee, sincerely, be near me. Together we be perfect, flawless. I think I love her, she don't notice. I wanna tell her, hope I don't blow it. And if she loves me back, she don't show it. So hard to focus, cause she don't notice. Tell me what I gotta do to make me free. Same thing gotta do to make you see. This girl, it seems this is hopeless. I think I love her, she don't notice.
About to fly. We about to soar towards the sky. Just be G. Come on, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is PROMISSLAND Ministry FIRE on the MIC Course Legacy. You blood boy, you kin to me. His blood brought adoption agency for the Lord. helping hand to amigo. Postal word when you feel low and just fly. Soar across the sky, because if you lay down and die, they gonna say you never stood for nothing when the devil was bluffing. You cussing and struggling, now cops handcuffing, stuffing you, pushing you in the car to take a ride. When you make bail, boy, I'm telling you, boy, you better fly. Soar across the sky, not how you begin. All about the way you tarry and carry while you pray and slay. From Monday to Sunday, for the finale, when you gone, it's grass greener on the cemetery lawn. Be about that life, about that gospel. Disciples living never die. FLY.
Not to let you spread your wings, take off and fly, fly. Soar across the sky, fly.
Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flame, couldn't burn up.
Not to let you spread your wings, take off and fly, fly. Soar across the sky, fly.
Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flames, didn't burn up. Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flames, couldn't burn up. Allow me to take this time and learn you something, youngin'. Ain't no future in frontin', your future in front of you. Who are you frontin' for? Transparency is the forefront of what's possible. Thugs turn to apostle, streets on the pulpit, the realest thing I ever seen. Go ahead and fly, best of both worlds. Get the best out of you when you call. Too blessed for stress, too anointed for disappointment, too endowed to act how, too sanctified to believe the devil lies, too slain to feel any pain, too much favor to be on the naughty list, too much discernment to let you hit my gift, too prayed up to let my flesh mess it up, too many brothers and sisters in Christ to feel like I ain't got no family, holy rolling with me, I'm about to fly, set the sky aflame, holy fire dragon, breathing on folks' pain, filled with propane, living water is heated, hot tea for the hot topic, can't top his performance, or fit my God into a locket, get the picture, 1 million prophets take flight, 100 million prophecies manifest, ancestry.com, bloodline, loyalty, you better fly.
Not to let you spread your wings, take off and fly, fly. Soar across the sky, fly.
Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flames, couldn't burn up.
Not to let you spread your wings, take off and fly, fly. Soar across the sky, fly.
Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flames, didn't burn up. Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flames, couldn't burn up.
Soar across the sky.
We about to fly. We about to fly.
Kim Ikemia Arrington is a career empowerment speaker, business strategist to career professionals and employed entrepreneurs who are building their businesses while working demanding full-time job, as well as a visionary event producer. She is on a mission to help the massive take career control by positioning them to transition into careers, businesses and life they love on their terms. Kim certainly affirms that you can love your Mondays by doing only the work you desire and enjoy. Who says you can't love your Mondays? Kim affirms that you most certainly can.
Nothing excites me more than to see children read the books that I illustrated and helped bring to life. You know, it's the process from start to finish, and you know, at the finish line you see the children smiling and excited and sharing the stories with other children about, you know, an image or a book that they read. Another thing that gives me joy is working with new and upcoming writers, people who have all these stories that they want to tell and, you know, things that they want to share with the world, you know, just like, you know, me wanting to express myself as an artist and, you know, share my expressions. You know, people are doing the same thing with their stories, and to help, I feel like I'm helping making their dream come true.
see too many images of black fatherhood portrayed in the media, but I know for a fact on the ground level, it's a lot of brothers who beat all odds and get the job done daily. The job is passing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the next generation, despite the role you may play in the lives of the youth. I hear a lot of brothers say, well, what if I don't have a beard? It works on skin too, and the strength of a beard is manhood. What if I don't have a baby? Part of our purpose on earth is to keep the kids safe, no matter the relationship. At least that's what I thought. Our product helps spread the message around the world as a symbol of growing together.
I knew something was wrong with my body.
My name is Kelly Bryan, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. The series is about how I use the low-carb diet lifestyle to get my numbers in non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes, one number at a time.
Hey, this is Nolan Holloway, aka Mr. Scribe. Just letting you know that I have 3 books of poetry that's available on Amazon.com. So when you get a chance, go to Amazon.com, look up Nolan P. Holloway Jr., not Mr. Scribe, and pick up one of my books for your enjoyment. Peace.
This is Marion Boyd with Marion Collection, real talk that takes you higher. Level up on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. It's ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hi, this is Pat Nash, your dream coach. Want to take your dreams to the next level? Then listen to Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. I am.
Hey, this is Melly coming at you from the Camp Transformation Center in Davie, Florida, and I need you to level up. Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's your boy, Mark Buddington, a.k.a. Money Mark. Let's level up on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories. Yeah.
This is Dr. Renee Andrews, author of God Has a Plan for You, Life After Divorce. Level Up, real talk that takes you higher, on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
We'll level up with your host today, Mr. Scribe, Nolan P. Holloway Jr. I'm here with Alonzo Gross, and we've been chopping it up in reference to his writing and to his unique style. Alonzo, unmute your microphone so we can hear you. You need to unmute your microphone so we can hear you, because I want to do your bio right now. Seems that we having an issue with Alonzo trying to unmute his mic. Can you get your mic unmuted? Can you hear? You can hear me, but you need to unmute your mic so we can hear you. But while he's trying to unmute his mic, I'm going to read some of his bio. I'm going to read his bio while he tries to get his mic unmuted. Alonzo Gross is a contemporary poet, songwriter, dancer, recording artist, and writer. His short stories were first published internationally in 2005 and in 2006 in the Staying Sane book series published by Evelyn.
Okay, got it. My bad. Can you hear me now? My bad about that, man.
I'm reading your bio.
Okay.
When family comes to visit in 2005 and Staying Sane during the Thanksgiving holiday. His first book of poems, entitled Inspiration, Harmony, and the World Within, was published in 2012. Funny, that's the year that was when my first book was published.
Oh, wow, that was a good year. That was a good year for books. Yeah.
Also in that same year, he was awarded Best Spoken Word Poet at the Lehigh Valley Music Awards. In 2016, Zo was selected as a feature poet in the film Voices, directed by Gina Nemo, filmed in Los Angeles, California, and released in 2017 in select theaters, as well as on Amazon Prime. Then in January of 2018, he released his second book of poetry entitled Soul Elixir, Writings of Zo. In November 2020, Zo was named one of the best poets of 2020 by Inner Child Press, where his work is featured in their anthology. Zo is a graduate in the field of English literature from Temple University and looks forward to releasing music CDs as well as new books of poetry and art. Now that's a full bio. Books, music.
Yeah,
What I
man.
want to get into at this point,
Mm-hmm.
in that the song that resonated with the smooth vibe and all of
Yeah.
that, is if the people who are watching on YouTube and Facebook, and we need you guys to share this because this is a dynamic brother right here. Talk to me about your style of writing because that's what really pulled me.
Yeah.
Read a lot of poetry on Facebook. You know, we're on different sites. We're posting our work. We're getting critique. We're giving critique.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with that particular style of writing?
Man, it's funny. It's like an amalgamation of a whole lot of styles. Like with the 4s and the 2s that you see me use, I got that from listening to Prince lyrics. When Prince came out with the 4s and the 2s and all that, but Prince got that from Sly and the Family Stone. So it's just a generational thing that like Prince did it with the 4s and the 2s and the I's. Also, Tupac did that when he wrote the 4s and the 2s. So I incorporated that style, and then some of influenced by Langston Hughes, some of his jargon, how he speaks, but also a lot of my music inspiration is into my poetry, like Jean-Michel Basquiat. He's one of the persons that I really look to because he listened to jazz, and for some reason he got into that neo-expressionism style. And if you look at Jean-Michel Basquiat's work, he was a artist, but he also put poetry into his artwork. So I want to be a poet that puts puts art into my poetry. That's why you see a lot of my poems have pictures with them. Because I feel like they're like, it's like a body. The poem itself is the soul. The artwork with it is the body. So I look at my pieces as a real person. So that's why when people send me their material sometimes, and I get a lot of these, people send me their material and they ask me to critique it. I'm like, I can't critique. I can't find myself to critique anybody's work. It's like critiquing their children or critiquing the dream they may have had when they slept last night. Who am I to critique your vision? I certainly don't want you critiquing mine in that way, but I don't want to. But the style I have is just it's performance art. I like to put like a lot of performances. You'll see like I put like the slashes, and that comes also from my dancing background because I want the words to dance on the paper. I want people just to not just to read the piece, but to experience. Yeah, it's the dancing thing, and the flow and stuff. That's from me also being a rapper. So I like to incorporate flow, but also show the beauty of like Shakespearean like flows and Shakespearean like neo language, but like neo Shakespeare language. That's what they put into my bio as far as when I got my they put neo Shakespeare. So that's not my term. That's what they said. That was neo Shakespeare. So I like to use.
Well, yeah,
like I said,
the way they put it, and that's what I felt when I was reading it. Because the thing is, it was a comment for me. It was a combination of words you used, how you phrased the words, and how the words looked. Thing that you just said, I got it. The dancing, the way the words danced off the page, the phrasing of your music background. And let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When did all of this start for you? When did that seed? Because for me, I didn't start writing poetry till I was 51.
Yeah, wow.
So, so for you, were you in middle school? Were you in high school? Speak about when that kind of thing hit you in reference to your growth as a writer and getting into what you're into.
Oh, absolutely. It was, I'd say around when I was like maybe 3 or 4. My mother would read Dr. Seuss to me every night. And Dr. Seuss, a lot of rappers say that, like his flow was so cool. Dr. Seuss, like the way he raps. Even Amigos, they did like a comedy thing where they were reciting one of Dr. Seuss's rhymes, but it gelled perfectly on the beat. So when I heard Dr. Seuss being read to me every night, I noticed like this is before rap too really came out. I noticed that there was a flow to it. My mom would read it every night, and then when rap came out, I'm like, oh, this must be the stuff that Dr. Seuss was doing, and that's what inspired me to like get into like writing rhymes and then having like the pictures with it. Because I would read Dr. Seuss's books and see the pictures as a kid, and I would put those two together, and it would become like just one image or one person for me. His words, and the pictures. So that's what inspired me really the most as a kid. It was Dr. Seuss actually, and then after that, of course, rap came in and rap artists came. But I was probably like 4 years old when I first started writing, and then when I was in elementary school, I wrote a story, and the teacher pulled my mom aside and said, "Your son's a really gifted writer. You should really get him." But I didn't really, know she was. I was so young. Yeah, I just was. But my mother is also a writer. My mother wrote a story that it's in one of Tavis Smiley's books. Like, and she has a story that she shares in there also with Ilana Van Zandt. It's like an anthology that Tavis Smiley made. So my mother was the one that nurtured me with the writing since I was young, and she would, after a certain time of watching TV, she'd turn the TV off and make us read a book. And I would get so mad. But the funny thing is, I do that every night now. If I don't get my 2 hours or 2.5 hours reading, I get mad. That's my mom ingrained that so much. So I told her that, and she laughed because I would get so mad at her before, and now I love to do it. So it's a combination of things. I can't take credit for this myself. I had a great brother I grew up with that nurtured me. My brother, he rapped, he danced. He taught me the difference between a rapper and a rap artist. Like, there's rappers, but Nas is a rap artist. There's rappers, but Jay-Z is a rap artist. There's something that they put behind their word. Kendrick is a rap artist. It's what they put behind the word, the substance, that separates them from just being a rapper or a rap artist. So I started getting into rap when I was like maybe 6 or 7, and just watching my brothers. They would do battles in the house, and I grew up with, in the 80s with all that coming out, the hip hop, the dancing, the fashion, all that. So I just took all of that in. And then later on, when I went to school, I wanted to study the finer ethics of like English literature. So I studied Shakespeare and Frost and Milton. So I had this background with rapping, then I also have this classical background. So that's where the styles come together. Is classical poetry, but then there's also hip hop that I study profusely.
A lot of things.
That's what makes it.
You got a lot of stuff that you're building off of.
Man,
the era that you grew up in.
Absolutely.
All those different influences have the man that's sitting in front of me today.
Absolutely.
All the mom did, all those influences. Because when I was older, when I was in college, when Sugar Hill Gang came out with their first one, we're like, okay, this is kind of and to see where it's come from now, I don't listen to a lot of it now though, because where it's gone. In the man of faith, there's just certain things that when it hits my ear, it's just not going to resonate and not put me in that particular frame. Now I listen to all different types of music. Of course I listen to Christian music, but I like other styles of music as well. And that's the thing is, we as believers, people always think that, oh, you're only going to do this, only do that. We're still people.
Exactly.
We still resonate, and other things can influence us. But it's obvious that we don't allow those things to take over, because music has a big influence on our culture, on how we behave, on how we think.
Yes.
So, and words, as you know, Alonzo, as a writer, words have power. The Bible talks about there's power of life and death in the tongue.
Absolutely.
You can bless someone with your words. You can curse somebody.
Yeah.
That's why I take my craft seriously. And then you went a step further by, you know what? I'm writing these rhymes. I'm having fun with it. Let me get the formal training. The classical training. So what I can do this, but I've got that foundation. I can go off in any direction I want to go off. Because it's like a classical pianist going off. You got the foundation of the classics. And you take it to a whole new level by understanding what the basics are. And from your bio, the fact that you study English literature, and you probably do a lot of reading with a lot. Like I like T.S. Eliot. The poet.
Yeah,
and the awesome. I like him is his imagery in his writing is put you on that sleigh drawn carriage through the snowbanks of upper New England, and it's like you're sitting right next to him. That's his words, and that's what I like about him. Langston Hughes puts you in that particular place, and you could feel his frustration. When he talked about I'm a man and I have an intellect with a mind that can think, but yet I'm looked at in a certain particular way. That moved me.
Yeah.
And if you have any kind of empathy or any kind of emotion, those words will definitely penetrate to your soul.
Yeah.
And that's what we as writers, we don't just write for the purpose of writing. Like you said, bro, I'm not writing just to be writing. I'm writing so I'm touching people.
Yeah.
I'm used to glorify my Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
And by doing that, if I'm touching somebody else,
that's all I love that when I get inboxes a lot from people that said that this poem touched me and thank you so much for sharing your gift. And I look at them like, why they just me? And then, but the reason why I complain is because I'm listening. I'm actually listening. Like I said, it's like near like dictation. So I'm listening to these words. So I'm like, your work is awesome. I'm like, thank you, but that's just what I heard. But it's my job to share it. That's why it's important for artists. Like, there are a lot of artists out there that probably hear material, but they don't share it. It's our job as to share it, not only just hear it, but to share it with the people so they can be blessed by it. And there's been so many poems.
I bumped into going to different things where people have a whole journal of poetry and never
and afraid to share it. That's where God's like,
exactly.
Yeah, God doesn't want. He said, I need you to not be afraid. I need you to get this out. If I'm going to tell you these things, it's for you to get out, because I believe it's God's work too. It's yours, but it's God's work. So he's like, get this out. I need you to use your mouthpiece to get this out for the people of your time. I'll give you these ideas, and I feel like you have to really respect that, because there'll be a time sometimes you don't do that, you get that writer's block.
Well,
that's right.
It's like the talents where God gave.
Yeah, he's like,
talent.
I'll come back later.
The one guy God multiplied his by using it. The other person buried it, and he had 2 talents, but he buried it. So you can't, once you're gifted that way, it's your responsibility.
Exactly.
Responsibility is to share it out.
Yeah, and I pray for that. I prayed to be an open vessel for the art, to make it for God, So, but I also mean, like, get ideas like at 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm sleeping. I don't feel like doing it, but I got to get up my phone and just at least jot it down. Or I'm trying to get like, no, you asked for this. You asked for this, man. Here, you right there. Come on, write this down and just write it down and get some sleep. Come back to it later. Or I might be at a grocery store.
I'm laughing because I need to do that, because what will happen is I need to keep my journal by my bed.
Yeah.
I'll dream in poetry.
Yeah.
And the lines will come and I'll get up in the morning.
You got to do it.
I have to start doing that for sure.
Yeah. Because somewhere along the line, oh God, I'm going to do this, man. I'm going to do this. Trust me, I'll do it. And he said, all right, I'm going to give you these words, and you got to get up. That's what I said about the work, the journaling, so you don't get that writer's block, the hearing those ideas. You got to put down when you're tired. That's all for the sake of for the people. It's not about you. It's for the people.
No. Absolutely. And we are poets, and we know that poetry is not on the mainstream. We know, like, I know it's because we do a lot of, I know that I do a lot of looking out at Facebook to different groups, urban fiction, about those particular stories about the inner city and all those type of things get a lot of feedback and a lot of play when it comes to the authors. And everybody's got their own niche, everybody's got their own genre. But for me, and people say, oh, you need to write short stories and stuff, but I think poetry is just where God has put me.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm continuing to write poetry. Now I may branch out if he directs me to, but if he doesn't, I'm sticking with the poetry.
Yeah.
So right now we got to take a break. When we come back, just want to talk a little bit about your musical influence. We kind of talked about how everything overlaps, but talk a little bit more about like the song that we just played on the platform. What that come about, and where's your music going? I mean, we know where it started. We want to know where it started and what direction that's taken to you in. So we'll be right back.
All right.
The Real Level Up, Real Talk, Ordinary People, Extraordinary Stories. We'll be right back after the break.
All right.
See, now this is one of those old school blues. So we need everybody to
I am protected. You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time now. You can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh, I'm protected. You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time. No, you can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh, spinning around like a carousel. Never sick, still looking well. He helped me win on the battlefield. I tell the truth like a tattletale. And I'm out of jail like I'm out on bail. And I don't feel like I don't tell the whole truth. Without Christ, it's like a ship without a sail. Look, back in the day, lagging away, I just happened to pray. After the day, he just happened to say he loves me. Defeated my enemies like an animal. Attacking the prey, they say he evil. Jesus, he just wanna save people. Ain't no way we gonna stay equal. Grab your wings and soar with the eagles. Protected by the shield and by the sword. Every blessing that you got comes by the Lord. He got keys to the gates and keys to death and hell and the grave. He'll set you free like you was a slave. You'll run real fast like you was the I am protected. You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time now. You can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh, I'm protected. You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time. No, you can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh, I'm protected in this bubble like bubble wrap. He's knocking on the door of your heart like double tap. Praise him twice, double clap. He just set up a double trap. The enemy fell in and God chopped him with his double axe. Facts, all of the chains he is breaking it. Satan's kingdom, he is shaking it. All this evil, I am forsaking it. The kingdom of heaven, I'm making it. Made in Satan, hating, blessings. You know I'm gon' rake in. They ain't going nowhere, they all stay in. If you wonder where I'm at, I'm gon' face in. It's water. Oh yes, no stress, and he will bless you. Holiness, I roll with the Lord, ain't no loneliness. Only this power of God, I am holding it. Taking my freedom back, I am not lonely yet. I am protected. You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time now. You can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh, I'm protected. You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time. No, you can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh, I'm protected.
Have you been sluggish, bloated, overweight? You could be toxic from your environment, food, and medications. It's time for a clean start. Come by or book online today.
Unveiled Treasures Bookstore. We offer a variety of items: church supplies, homeschool resources, music, books, and gifts. Our free ministry partners online affiliate program provides a collection of Christian resources. Unveiled Treasures. Exquisite jewels to enrich your soul.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. LaTrace Brookshire and welcome to Ask the Good Doctor, and we are live here at the Essex Culinary Resort and Spa.
We're here at the Wellness Warriors Weekend, and there are wonderful local companies here representing products that are wellness-based.
Hi there, good morning. We just finished Water of Roses. Enjoyed myself able to do movements that I can never do on dry land. I feel like I'm 20 again.
We got to relax and really breathe and really connect with our bodies, and I loved it. thing that this book is, it's your story. It's your story. It's your story. It's everybody's story.
We must stand where there is darkness. We must find light.
It was Grandma who instilled in her that she must hold her head up straight.
If you've got to be 25 to 30 years old and you've not talked with a therapist, put the book down and go get a therapist.
Finding vision, compassion, authenticity, abundance, and legacy.
As the theme goes so far this evening, you gotta get that stuff out.
I consistently pause before I speak. I'm Dr. Wilma Hunt Watts, a podiatric physician and surgeon, also known as a podiatrist.
We're here doing a pain management clinic.
All of these skincare collections are designed to be mixed and matched, depending on what your skincare needs are.
We had a good time. Energy, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
And today we are doing Kitchen Warriors. At Kitchen Warriors, I actually prepare a meal, teach everyone how to make it, and then we sit down and eat it together. This is from outside. This is the whole farm to table concept here at the Essence.
The fruits of the spirit have been reignited inside of me. So I'm walking out of here with my joy, with my peace, and my love. So I am a better mother, a better wife when I go back home.
This is Terrell Murphy. Get inspired with Level Up. Real talk that takes you higher.
You are listening to Level Up with Sisters of the Skies Incorporated.
Hey, this is Richard Shaw Jr. Make sure you're believing again. Also, level up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Hi, this is Amos Johnson, pastor of Church for Entrepreneurs. Let's level up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
This is Jackie, Hollywood Mims. Listen or watch Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked right here.
And welcome back to Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I haven't gotten that right yet the whole show, but I think I got it right now. So we're back on with Zo-Alonzo Gross, who's dropping some serious nuggets in reference to his influence on his writing and how he was able to come up with his unique style. He basically said, started at a very, very young age. His mother and brother had a big influence on the writer that he is now, and he's allowed God to speak through him. So people that's listening out there, everybody's journey is going to be different. Each of us is going to take a different path to get to where we are as writers. I'm just excited and hyped up to listen to his story because I know how my journey started at a later age when his journey started at 3 or 4 years old. Alonzo, what I want to get into now with you, just two men chopping it up on the real. They gave me the platform, and I'm kind of happy about that. So we can connect and keep linked up moving forward. Different things. Talk to us a little bit about your musical journey because you've got so many different things that you're doing: writer, musician, dancer. So how did the music part intertwine with your writing?
It was happened at the same time. When I was younger, I was, like I said, I got into Dr. Seuss, and then around that time, like the Sugar Hill Game came out and all that, and the rap and all that. So I started like listening to how they incorporate the music with the poetry. Because I always heard that rap is rhythm and poetry. I always heard that acronym, and I always believed that to be so. So I went from like the Sugar Hill Gang to like the earliest person I can remember that really got me into wanting to be a writer was Rakim. When Rakim came out with Follow the Leader, it was like, because he changed. Rakim was like Miles Davis. Like back in the day, they rapped a certain way, like not to put anybody down, but Run DMC had that unemployment, with nothing wrong with that. But then Rakim came in, he changed the whole cadence, And it was at that time I was like, wow, this guy's a real writer. So I started. My brother, like I said, my brother got me into studying rap writers. So Rakim was a real huge influence as far as wanting to be different from the pack. Because Rakim, he sounded different. His voice was different. His syllables, his monosyllabic, the way he would flow was all different. And you could hear that in people like Eminem and Kendrick, how they take the flow and just double up just to make something like art.
And that's why
that's that. And that's when I heard that. Like I heard the rappers and people like Nas. My brother is the one that introduced me. I never had even heard of Nas. I was a freshman at Temple University. My brother came and said, "You got to hear this guy." And he's around the same age as you. Nas was like 20. I was 22 around the same age. And he played "The World Is Yours." And I tell you, like I was crying because that song. I was thinking, here's somebody who finally gets it. He gets not just the rap part. Here's a rap artist who gets it. He gets the visuals. He gets the storytelling. Even how he rolled the beat. How the beat, how Pete Rock made the beat just come together. When I hear certain songs like that, I get very emotional. And that's how I know I'm more than just like a writer. I'm an artist. I feel that very deeply. And people like Nas inspire me. Jay-Z, of course, who I'm really into, like studying. I've been studying for the last 5-6 years as Kendrick Lamar. As you know, he's a Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
He's one artist he's a Pulitzer Prize he's the one person that is bridging the gap between literature and rap. He's showing the masses like these two can work together. Look, he has the Pulitzer Prize, and if you read his stuff on paper, I brought up something to show you that I wanted to read to you that he said. Now, there's his album called "The Pimp a Butterfly." I'm not sure if you heard that. That album is a classic. On the one track, he's talking about meeting a homeless person, and the homeless person just happens to be the angel or the son of God, and he's asking Kendrick for money, just to $1, and he's blowing this guy off. Meanwhile, he doesn't know this guy's an angel. And I'll read this part that when Kendrick finished the song, this is what he said in the song. Here's Kendrick talking to the homeless person who he assumes is just a homeless person. He says, "The jig is up. I seen you from a mile away losing focus, and I'm insensitive, and I lack empathy." He looked at me and said, "Your potential is bittersweet." I looked at him and said, "Every nickel is mine to keep." Looked at me and said, "Know the truth, it'll set you free. You're looking at the Messiah, the Son of Jehovah, the higher power, the choir that spoke the word, the Holy Spirit, the nerve of Nazareth, and I tell you just how much $1 cost. The price of having a spot in heaven, embrace your lost. I am God." So that was a homeless person talking to the Kendrick's character. So when I read that, I'm like, wow, not only is he painting a picture, he's putting it behind great music, and it looks good on paper. I'm really into how something looks on paper aesthetically, like how the words look, what words they're using, how attractive are they on paper. And he's one guy. His cadence is great. His imagination, his words look beautiful on paper, which is why he has that Pulitzer. So to answer your question, I've been studying people like Kendrick and J. Cole, of course, Eminem, and just all. Rhapsody is a good rapper. She's really awesome. But I studied the art. Like I said, I studied the artists, people that inspire me to not just rap, but to maybe put a little something extra in there.
And if you notice that some of the artists became very, very famous, but other artists, I've heard a young person that I used to work with on my job turn me on to Kendrick. And I started listening to his thing, and I'm like, this young cat gets it.
He's different.
That. What do you think about, the Christian rap that you've heard? If you've heard, maybe we played a couple of, we played your track, and we played the other brother's track, who was also on the Real Level Up. As far as, do you listen to it? And if you listen to it, what's your feelings about it?
I like Lecrae. Listen to Lecrae a lot, and I listen to Bizzle. Now Bizzle's funny because Bizzle, I don't know if you ever heard of Bizzle before. It's funny because Bizzle will use the N-word sometimes, but he's a Christian rapper, and it kind of throws me off a bit. It's kind of funny, but what he's saying is actually pretty potent. But they asked him why he does that, and he said he just likes to keep it authentic. But he's one of the Christian rappers I listen to, but I like Lecrae more so because he had the same type of struggles that I had. Like he struggled with the weed thing, which I struggled with that before. He struggled with too many women, and he brings all that into his music. And but Lecrae will be the first to tell you he's not really a Christian rapper. He's a rapper who happens to be a Christian. That's how he keeps his balance. But he's very much like a real great artist as far as the Christian rap goes. And like I said, him and Bizzo was the ones I really listened to on a regular basis. I learned a lot from.
And the other point I wanted to make about that is, we're believers. I'm a believer. You're a believer as well. God can get His message in different ways. We have so many fundamentalist folks that, there's no place for that, in the church, etc., things like that. But how are you going to reach the masses who are not coming?
Exactly.
Unless you put it in a format that they can relate to.
Yeah.
Especially our young people.
Yeah.
Our young people, we have the older folks that want to do it in a certain way. We got to be flexible. We got to be able to change. I'm 60-something now. You're a younger guy than me, but I understand. You can't be set in your ways when it comes to doing things. You have to be flexible enough to kind of like change, like Christian rap. My thing is, I grew up in the era of house music.
Yeah.
Early rap and things of that nature. There's gospel house.
Yeah.
People giving glory to God with the beat of house music.
Oh, yeah.
Folks that's going to down that. If it's anointed, it's anointed.
Exactly.
It's the format. Now, we can get into that whole conversation of where some so-called Christian artists gets into the secular and with that. But as far as the artist is concerned, if I heard recited or listened to a piece of your poetry or read a piece of your poetry, man, Alonzo was in that zone where I could tell the Holy Spirit was on when if you're in tune like that, even if a person may not be a believer, those words are going to hit them in a certain manner, as opposed to somebody just putting something out there, and when it hits you, it's like, okay, that's just secular stuff.
Yeah.
Poets, and I know you said that you really don't like critiquing other people because that's their vision, that's their dream. When I read poetry, I know that it's a gift from God, because as I start to read it, I see the pattern. Like, if the first and third lines are rhyming, or if this line is rhyming with, it'll jump out of the page at me.
Yeah.
And I see the flow that they're giving.
Yeah.
To discern, wow, this really flowed with me. And other times it's like, I can tell the person rushed it, or the person.
Yeah.
There's a lot of not Facebook pages, but social media pages where people post, but they post so much, it kind of loses its potency.
Yeah, you're right.
The thing is with writing, I like the different prompts, and like you said, the different things that you do. You journal. Keep that writer's block at bay, or you just continue to do a lot of writing. I can tell your kids are there, so you.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Family, man, no problem.
I was like, oh.
What I noticed is that writing with a purpose, almost. Not just putting some, or doing a prompt. Okay, I need some little practice. So picture. Okay, start with this word, and then poetry. And those are good exercises, because it's like lifting weights. You keep your muscles up, keep you building and stuff. But my thing is, my belief personally is, if you overdo it, you water it down a little bit too much. And it loses its potency if you do.
Exactly. That's true. And I had that problem too when I first got on Facebook. I was like sharing poems, and I look back now, I'm like, wow, my style changed. Like doing that, I see my style change. I saw what didn't work and what did work, and then I started. There was a time I didn't put those symbols and those stuff in my poetry, and I'm like, wow, that was a while ago. And I think that actually happened by accident. I was doing on the computer, and I hit a button, and I made a symbol. I'm like, wait, let me make that. So when you see those symbols, they correspond with the cadence, like the rhymes. So like when people ask me about the symbols, I'm not just putting the symbols there. Each symbol matches this, like the couplet of a rhyme that go together. And then there's different symbols for different rhymes. If there's near rhymes, I'll put a symbol for that, for a near rhyme. It's like there's a whole technique behind it. Because sometimes I get critiqued. What do you use those fours and twos and this and that? And it's this texting language. I'm like, it's not texting.
It's like you're not forcing it. And that's the thing that I noticed when I read it. And I implore anybody who's watching the show today to go out and check some of your writing. When you're writing, you'll say you are, or those different things, and it just, I'm telling you, Alonzo, it leaped out at the page.
I appreciate that, man.
It hit me upside the head. I'm like, okay, unique style. I've seen, and I'll change the stanzas, shift them over, things like just the way you had it laid out. And you said that does something.
Yeah, I approach
the way it's on the page.
Yeah,
how if it's left, if it's identified, you know, you indent the first line and all the other lines line up, or you may have this line. That's the beauty of it, where you can shake it up and and things like that. And the thing is, I know there's a difference between I recite my poetry. I'm not a spoken word performance poet. But the thing about it is, the performance, you're animated, you're emphasizing certain words, and you're performing it. When I read it with the emphasis of my voice. I can inflect, I can accentuate, I can strengthen and give power to certain parts of it because I'm the one that wrote it. But I like people to read my work because I may structure it in a certain that will get to them as well. How you put it on paper,
how it looks, it's like
aesthetically,
and that's the part where, like I said, my influence with Jean-Michel Basquiat. Like they asked him, how did you create? He said he would add, and then take away, add, and take, and that's how I do my poetry. I'll do a poem, and I'll look at it, and I'll see how it looks, and I'll maybe change this over here, and maybe make this and do this edge, and shorten this word, just to make it look more aesthetically, keeping in mind that somebody's gonna maybe read it. I don't want to put too many words here for that person and mumble up for the next word. So I'm very conscious of people that are going to read it, and oftentimes people say you should put this to a song or to music, and I'm like, and that makes me laugh. I'm like, it is really what they're reading is really like almost like rap lyrics. When most of the time people that don't listen to rap, they say I don't listen to rap, but reading your stuff makes me want to get into rap. And I tell them there's plenty of artists out there, a lot like that do what I do. Just get a chance and listen to their stuff. But I'm doing it in a way that I'm showing them the poetry first, and I'm bridging the gap with the rap, like how Kendrick did, and just show them like they can be together and interchangeable, and they don't have to be separate like that.
And you can still get your message across. But
one thing I would say,
in a unique kind of way.
Yeah, like I said, I learned a lot too. Like when I was at Temple, I forgot to tell you, I had a whole year with Sonia Sanchez as a teacher. She was about English literature, African American English literature, my bad. And I learned a lot from just having her, Miss Sonia Sanchez, as a teacher. Like I didn't even know how famous she was until I graduated. Like Sonia Sanchez was your English teacher? Like, yeah. Like, Sonia Sanchez? And I realized, like, wow, my teacher was the bomb. I didn't realize that, but she's the one that encouraged my style. Like she said, be original. That's the only way you're gonna stand out. She gave me an A for the class. I'm like, wow, Miss Sanchez gave me an A.
That's a big deal.
It told me nothing. But she always said, stay humble, and I'm not sure she'll remember me. Maybe later on if I give her a book or something. But she was just so giving of herself, and that's how I want to be. I want to be accessible. I don't want to be too busy to answer questions or keep things from people as far as how I write and how they can be better writers and artists themselves. So
let me ask you this.
I'm just like I said.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm an artist, but I'm a public servant too. I'm here to serve the public with poetry, with music, to make your life. I always look at it this way. Our job as artists is to make this life a little bit like a lot more enjoyable. Like I mean, have a little bit. If I pop into Michael Jackson, I'm gonna feel better though. So that's what he was. Came here. He came here to do that. Feel like I'm in a bad mood. Boom. He put on some Human Nature and feel better. And that's the job as an artist. I want someone to go, I feel terrible. Let me put on. We got some of Zoe's music or his poetry, and I feel better. And that means more than money. Like that's what a gift operates for. People tell you your thing. Yeah.
Poets know what we understand the power of words. I mean, obviously, as a musician, we know what music is a universal language, and as poets, we know that our words can have a person make a certain decision, or a person can be in a certain place, and your music or your word can put them in a totally different place. We got to get ready to go to another break. I need you to make sure that you meet your camera and mic. But when we come back, I want you to talk about how the social climate has influenced your work. I mean, people looking at us right now, we're two African-American men. We know the issues that we had to deal with. And I'm just interested in finding out how those things that you see on the news, or you in your own personal experience with your family, just being out in the world, how it has influenced your work. So we're going to come back from this break, and we're going to talk to Alonzo about the social impact on his work. You're listening and watching to the Real Level Up, real talk that takes you higher, We'll be right back after this break.
Every time I see your face, there's something about you takes me away. Oh, your glow, you shine every day bright, relaxing like we're in an oasis.
Okay, baby. Rock you guys out.
There's no fuss and no fight. There's no wrong, it's alright with you. So when I'm with you, girl, it feels like paradise. That look in your eyes lets me know. Say, girl, I know that it's love. It's the light of love. Yeah, so delightful love. Take a flight of love. It takes me away. It's the light of love. It's so delightful love. It's the lightness of love. Oh, some call it cloud nine, but I prefer to call it your presence. Oh, some say they falling in, but there's no tripping when you're in heaven. Oh, there's no fuss and no fight. There's no wrong, it's alright with you. So when I'm with you, girl, it feels like paradise. Oh, it's that look in your eyes lets me know. Sing, girl, I know that it's love. It's the light of love. So delightful love. Take a flight of love. It takes me away. It's the light of love. It's so delightful love. It's the lightness of love. And I see the light. So delightful love. Take a flight of love. It takes me away. It's the light of love. It's so delightful love. It's the light. It's the lightness of love. La 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 la. It's love. Oh, I can't help me say la 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 la. Say it's love. It's the lightness of love. Takes me away. It's the light of love. So
gonna take me. No, I won't fall, but if I did, nothing could break me. Don't let fear get in front of you. Know just where you wanna go. Know in your heart you'll arrive. Whatever is ahead of you, there is something that you should know. You're in for such a beautiful ride, and so I believe,
Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you tried, things just still go wrong?
Many times.
What do?
I let go and let God.
All I'm asking from you is to bump up our credit limit to where it was.
It's declined.
We're experiencing some financial hardships at the moment.
You have 6 days to make payment.
I can't believe this is happening.
You know, I never asked you to pray with me.
It's you and me. We got this. God wants to help you, Peter.
Excuse me?
But you're not letting him in.
I did once. Last time we spoke, you took a man away from me I loved dearly. From that day, I swore to take matters into my own hands. But now I don't know what to do.
I know that you don't believe, but I will pray for you.
I love you so much.
Kapimo.
It was a miracle. You believe in miracles?
Listen, if you need me, you call me.
All of the angels in heaven are rejoicing. You gotta know that everything is gonna be okay.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for the respect when you get home. Hey, baby, when you come home, darling, I every woman is all in me. I can read your thoughts right now, everyone from A to Z.
Hello, my name is Rodney Damon Collins. I'm an actor, producer, author, and speaker. I'm excited to share my first book entitled Shattered: A Journey Through the Pieces. I wrote this book because there are millions of people like me in this world who are searching for purpose while navigating emotional distress. This book is for anyone who wants to be the producer of their own life. The reader will be encouraged to know that if they, 1, keep God first, 2, learn how to make peace with the pieces in our lives, and finally, 3, never deterred from your dreams, that you will see your purpose fulfilled. I love you, and go grab this book on Amazon.com, Shattered: A Journey Through the Pieces.
Hey guys, vibe with Mr. Scribe on Level Up.
It's your girl, Dr. Monique Frazier, owner of Prestige Decor and More. Let's level up on Sundays, 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hey, this is Dr. Crystal of Kaleidoscope Counseling Center. Level up with me and Angee from the B every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Are you ready to go higher? Hey, this is the Minister April Leland of Woman to Woman and Associates and Motivational Moments with me, your spiritual soldier. Keep it locked right here as we level up, giving a voice to the unvoiced with real talk that takes you higher. We are ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Welcome back to the Real Level Up. We're on with Alonzo Gross. We've been chopping it up big time. We done went back when he was 3 years old, till now. And what I like to talk about now is, well, first let me do this, because I've been directed from my boss to let folks know we're on Facebook Live. So if you have any questions, type them on Facebook Live and share the page. But in addition to that, we're also on YouTube. Go to the Real Level Up on YouTube, where you can see us there. We've got a few of our followers, Alonzo, that puts us on the big screen TV on their laptop, so they see you in live and full color. Me as well.
Appreciate it.
What I want, and we got some folks listening in. And like I said before, if you got any questions, go on Facebook Live, type your questions. I'll be more than happy to ask Alonzo, and I know he'll be more than happy to answer our questions. What I wanted to get into this segment is social stuff going on. We got COVID, we've got all these other issues that's going on, and I want to know how that impacts you as not just an artist, but as a man, as a brother, in where we are right now, and then I want to go into, because I can get a little in the background, talk a little bit about your family. But let's start with the social thing first.
Yeah, it affects me a lot. I'll read something like when they were a lot of people were getting killed by the cops, like the black men. That was really bothering me. And I wrote a poem. I put it on Facebook, and a lot of people shared it. And I want to read it to you. It's called "Before You Shoot Me Down," and it's like a fictional story of me driving a car and then getting pulled over. This is called "Before You Shoot Me Down." I wrote this like years ago, but it says, "I'm really not sure why it is you pulled me over. I didn't rob any store. I'm not high or drunk. I'm sober. Is it really a crime for me to have a nice ride? Why does it have to be I'm slanging things on the side? That's not what I do, all right? Got the wrong brother. But perhaps in your eyesight, I just got the wrong color. You've been following my car with this attitude you got, looking for my non-existent Glock, mad because I'm listening to Pac, holding on to your pistol, still searching for pot. Never sought out to lose my life today. Never fought, just thought I could have my say. But okay, I can hear the click of your Ruger round. Just let me pray right quick before you shoot me down." Now, I wrote that a while ago, I think when Michael Brown was killed, because it really affected me, and I wanted to, let people know. And I wrote other pieces on that, like extensively, where the language was more like fearful. It was from me in the perspective of being like terrified for my life. So the social climate really affects me because as a writer, a lot of us are empaths. We feel these things, and like going again back to being like an open vessel. When you ask God to let you feel those things, that also means that you may go to a grocery store. You might feel some unsavory characters. You might just be able to feel, and maybe their intentions or like their spirits. I know it sounds strange, but you pick up on little subtleties that people do because you're open to these things and you're open. So of course, the climate really affects me as a writer, and it gives my work a certain different type of edge to go to. And it's funny you say that because those are the pieces that have got me kicked off the pages the most when I talk about racism and things of that. They like me doing the worst part right now, but then when I switch into, oh wait, you're talking like a black guy now. What are you doing? And like I'm very much aware that I'm a poet, but I'm a black man first. That's how they see me. But I don't want to.
That's what I want to get into. What I want to get into is that our show is very diverse. We have all different types of folks that tune into our show. But today's the men's show, and we are black men, so we keep it real. I keep it real. And this is the real level up, so we keep it real. Now, see, that's why I think for whatever reason God put poetry in my lap.
Yeah,
because that's how I can express myself. And I've noticed that whichever the poet, whatever background they come from, if I want to know what's going on in that particular window of time in history, I just read the poetry. If I read T.S. Eliot, I'm in his world. Because he's white and he wrote a certain snippet of time. If I want to know what was going on with African American people, I'll read Langston Hughes. Maya Angelou, or I'll read these particular poets. I'll know exactly what's going, because that emotion is poured into those words. So take the poetry you just read. I felt that being pulled over. No, it's not for no good reason. Knowing that I'm just being pulled over, not because I've done something wrong, because of the color of my skin. That's where I think the power of poetry comes through, because it talks. Now, we can have different shows on television talking about certain political issues and et cetera. We can get into all of that part. But that, to me, is the power of poetry.
And it has to get out. Like, as an artist, like, again, we have to get that out. And sometimes it's not always pretty. Like, our job is to bring you the truth. And the truth is sometimes she's not very pretty, but we still nevertheless got to bring you that truth. And like, I like, that's my only critique with certain poets. I won't say any names or anything, but when I see people on Facebook that write just a certain one style, like, surely there's other aspects of your life that you could explore, that you could share with us. Like, I love poems and stuff, but sometimes I want to talk about scary stuff and things that scare me and stuff that I struggle with, and there's also took acting as well. If you notice from my pieces, I like to take on the character of the person that I'm writing about. Like, for example, I wrote a poem called Cuts, and it's in my book. I'll share it in a minute. It's called Cuts. It's about a woman who's a black woman that cuts herself, and I take on this role of a woman that cut herself, and then I shared it on Facebook. And I got like 4 or 5 therapists inboxing me, asking me if I was a cutter, and if I needed help. I said no, it was a poem I wrote. But I get so into the characters do that because I know that. But then I got an email from inbox from somebody who really was a cutter, a woman, and said, "Wow, how did you know I felt that?" And I said, "I don't know. I just try to go into the mindset of that person." So another element. I go into the mindset, and I go places that are crazy sometimes. I've gone to places where I did a poem about a woman who was a paid assassin, and I talked about how she felt, inside her heart, and how she felt about doing these things, and how she got pushed into being a female assassin. And I got into that mindset, and I wrote that poem about that. And I get inboxes about people like, how do you write from that perspective? Because as artists, we got to place ourselves there. And I think that's very important to place ourselves in that position to share with that. Because you may never know, there might be somebody who really does cut that you may affect.
Right. Absolutely.
Definitely count to you.
And that's an important aspect as well.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, there's things on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all of those things. And that's what I learned way back when I started writing poetry. There's hundreds of poetry sites on social media. And like you said, and then what my thing was when I started getting into it, I'm like, wow, there are so many different styles of poetry. Why am I going to limit myself to just one particular style? My voice can be expressed. You got haiku, you got singing, Japanese styles, you got anacronyms, you got sonnets, which is Shakespearean type. And I was studying that as well, how it goes and how the plot is a story, but it's written in a certain way. And to me, that's a challenge. It's like, okay, I'm going to write a sonnet.
It is challenging.
But it challenged me as a writer. And that's the thing. It's not just about writing one way and just keep pumping stuff out, because to me, not anybody can do it, but I'm just saying it's like a cookie cutter type of way of doing things. It's like, if I want to channel what God has gifted me with, my poetry is not going to sound like everybody else.
Exactly.
It's not going to sound like everybody else's, because if he's given me this gift, I've got to respect the gift, and I've got to utilize the gift the way he's telling me to use it. Because a lot of people gifts and they twist it.
You have to nurture it. He's just
they twist the gift now, or ego or whatever it is. We're not perfect. So he gives it to us in a perfect way, but we've got to channel it through us, and we know we're not perfect, so we know we're a little bit filtered and everything when it comes.
And that's why I say that the work comes from another source, because some of the stuff I write, I'm like, I'm not that perfect. I'm not that. I'm not that, but it's something else speaking through me to share with somebody else. Because I'm just a mere person. I have my struggles and like everybody else. But when I sit down and meditate on something and I get that, that's for people to understand and to relate to. It's not necessarily me, how I can be. That's my higher self. That's how I see it. When I write those types of poems that touch people, that's the higher self of everybody. Has their higher self. Your conscience, your goodwill, but your higher self has like all the answers. It has all the rhyme schemes you need, has all the puzzles to your art. And if you just go there and meditate on that, the answers will be there for you in abundance. And that's where I go. It's there, and it's never abundance.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to speak to anybody out there that's listening to us today. What I want to just speak to just for a couple of minutes, because this show is all about Alonzo today, is if you want to write, don't feel like, oh, my story's not going to resonate, things like that. What it is that he spoke about it before. Writing is not easy. Writing is a struggle. And you're going to write stuff and you're going to look at it and not like it. But somebody else might, you'll be surprised. You've written a piece, man, I don't really care for it. But then you'll share it and everybody will gravitate to it. And you're wondering, well, it wasn't for me. It was
it's just for that person.
And once you get that wisdom as you continue to write, and that's the whole process. A lot of people will start writing stuff, get a negative feedback, and quit.
You quit. I've done that before. It's funny.
You got to persevere. So this is just another aspect of living. We go through this life. We struggle. You're a family man. Every day is not going to be a picture perfect, sunshiny, beautiful flowers and smell of honeysuckle and all those beautiful poetic terms.
Exactly.
It's gonna be rough, raw, concrete.
Yeah. I always say it to one of my favorite quotes that I wrote, I said, if you expect everyone to love everything you create, then you are not an artist. That you're not. Like, artists are gonna make stuff that people think stinks. But as an artist, you have to stay with it. Because somebody else might think it's the bomb and change their life. But just because somebody there have been poems that I wrote, I'm like, oh, wait till they see this. Wait till they see this. I put it out. It's like, oh, it bombed. Oh, then I put another one out and whatever, and people sharing it and inboxing me. I'm like, what? So you cannot ever project where it's gonna go. Your job is just to put in the work and let it. It really is none of your business. After you write something and you put out there, it's really none of your business where it goes. None of your business.
You don't have any. After you let it go,
you got no control. It's yours to relinquish. But I'll read that piece I was telling you about earlier.
No, go ahead.
And here's the artwork.
Now, what's the title of this particular book, Alonzo?
This is my newest book. I'm sorry, my newest book called Poems for You and Yours. I'll put it right here. It'll come right there. Poems for You and Yours.
We're gonna have you share later on towards our last segment all your social platforms, how people get in contact with you. We're gonna take care of all that. But I just wanted them to see.
Yeah.
Read it right now.
Yeah, but this is the book. Here's the picture, and there's a sister there, and she's a cutter. So it's called Cuts. It was 1 cut for the anger, betrayal, my rage. 4 cuts for the stranger who molested me at 4 years of age. 2 cuts for my daddy, who I loved but was killed. 3 cuts I do madly for many dreams unfulfilled. 2 cuts for my ex, who only wanted me for sex, who beat me down then knocked me up, only to never return my text. You see, I hide my scars behind long shirts and sweaters. I blacked out, seen stars, I bled and hurt amidst the stormiest of weather. Anyway, 2 cuts for the family that jeers and doubts me. 1 cut for my Grammy, who was sincere but the only one who cared about me. 3 cuts for my leg, those kind of hurt. 1 cut for having to beg my abusive pimp for work. I know I need help, and somewhere true love is beaming, but still I cut myself deep, just trying to find the deeper meaning. So this piece is about somebody who's cutting, and the reason behind her cutting is she's trying to find something deeper, which exemplifies the cuts. And this is the one I put on Facebook before when I had like a licensed therapist asked me if I needed help, and I was like, no, this is not about me. It's the character, that has the cutting issue. And he told me, wow, I really thought that was, you were trying to camouflage that behind that. And I said, no, I wasn't. But that's an example of a character piece. Like I'm a black man. I'm not a woman. I had to go into that woman. It mentioned about the pimps and stuff. That's not something I would say. I'm a male, but her character is saying that it's not about me. It's about the character. And that's the poem again that a real cutter shared out. Reached me and she sent me like a long inbox about cutting and that he wants to look at stopping it and it's hurting her. I'm like, wow, I didn't think that piece.
That's the empathy, because you said I'm a male.
Yeah.
But I can still tap into.
Yeah, I never cut.
What that person's feeling when they're doing those type of things, and that's the beauty of this being an artist. To basically get outside, and we as men, I noticed that brothers, not just brothers, just men in general, have a hard time getting out of themselves.
Yeah.
Go to a different place. It's like I'm who I am, and who I am, or to empathize with a woman.
Yeah.
Be able to, because the thing is to be able to write outside of yourself.
Yeah.
It's definitely a gift, because a lot of times we'll read male writers writing about females, but then that male carries over.
Yeah.
To the character they write. It's like, I don't think a real woman acts like that. It's just a man's vision of what he thinks a woman should act like.
Yeah.
Really putting himself, in that particular place. Not that we're doing anything that's wrong outside. Why can't I put myself on a feminine side and say, let me just try to see her perspective as being a woman. Because like a woman can get perspective of trying to understand each other.
Yeah.
You're a family man. How did you relate to meeting your wife? First of all, how did you guys meet? And how did your family come together?
I met my wife. It's funny. I met my wife at a job we both got this for. We went for this job and we both didn't get it. And I thought she was so beautiful. And let me show you my wife's also a writer. And her book's called Warmth and Greens. Alexia Zachariah. She's a writer. So our family, my mother's a writer. Her grandfather's a writer on both sides. So we come from a writing family. So yeah, and she's also a painter. The first poem in my book, my wife did the artwork for it. So these are all things that attracted me to her. Not just that she was super fine, but
but
that's the poem in my book. She did the artwork. That's the first poem in my book, and her name is Alexia right there.
Okay.
So we very much keep it a family thing. But I met her at a job we didn't get, and we started talking. And while we were talking, I found out that she did poetry, that she liked rap music, and I'm like, wow, this is. And I had prayed.
But hold that thought.
We'll get back. Yeah.
No. The fact that you're a writer, she's a writer, poet, music, and all of that, and how you guys came together. So hold that thought because we got to go to another break.
All right.
This is Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. We'll be right back with Alonzo, so don't go anywhere. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
You and I have to let the man know is we are peaceful people. We are loving people. We love everybody who loves us. But we don't love anybody who doesn't love us. We're nonviolent with people who are nonviolent with us. But we are not nonviolent with anyone who is violent with us.
History, life in quarantine, nowhere to hide, it's worldwide. We can agree to disagree, but it don't matter now, this is life. We can chill face to face and debate what is fact and what has been a lie. We can pull every card and go hard with the truth, yet be brutalized. When it's all said and done, what we have and what we want won't bring back alive. All we really need to do is hang on and speak life.
To bring about the complete independence of people of African descent here in the Western Hemisphere, and first here in the United States, and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary.
In every way, let the people see, let them see, and make sure you know you're right. Oh, when you speak, don't believe, no, this is your defeat. Don't incriminate your mind. Oh, be free. Let us join hand in hand as we stand and demand our equality. Let them know how you feel, 'cause you wanna walk across the street stress-free without that hand. When it's all said and done, what we have and what we won't bring back alive. All we really need to do is stand strong and speak life. It's your life. Come on. Will you fight? It's time. Yeah.
But when someone attacks you, when someone comes at you with a club, when someone comes at you with a rope, when someone comes at you with a gun, despite the fact that you've done nothing, he tells you, suffer peacefully. Pray for those who use you despitefully. Be long-suffering. And how long can you suffer after suffering for 400 years?
there's a purpose and a destiny for us all. You can be what he puts in your heart. You can do it, don't give up, no. Is anyone listening to him? Can you hear what God said? Is anyone listening to him? Can you hear what he said? I can. I'll be his light and now shine, 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 shine. It's okay, don't have to be afraid. Take a breath and step out on your faith. It's okay, don't have to be afraid. Just relax, let Jesus guide your way. And just shine, 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 oh, shine, 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 oh, shine, shine,
TNT, this is Kia Carr, and I have a new album out called Life, Love, and Hope, and you can get it on www.kiacarr.com. That's KIAKERR.com. Again, I just finished Sizzling Sundays, and my name is Kia Carr. New artist out, Life, Love, and Hope, new album, kiacarr.com, KIAKERR. Thank you so much. God bless.
I knew something was wrong with my body.
My name is Kelly Bryan, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. The series is about how I use the low-carb diet lifestyle to get my numbers in non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes, one number at a time.
Unveiled Treasures Bookstore. We offer a variety of items: church supplies, homeschool resources, music, books, and gifts. Our free ministry partners online affiliate program provides a collection of Christian resources. Unveiled Treasures, exquisite jewels to enrich your soul.
Hey, this is Nolan Holloway, aka Mr. Scribe. Just letting you know that I have 3 books of poetry that's available on Amazon.com. So when you get a chance, go to Amazon.com, look up Nolan P. Holloway Jr., not Mr. Scribe, and pick up one of my books for your enjoyment. Peace.
You know, babies and beards is a calling. You don't see too many images of black fatherhood portrayed in the media. But I know for a fact on the ground level, it's a lot of brothers who beat all odds and get the job done daily. The job is passing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the next generation, despite the role you may play in the lives of the youth. I hear a lot of brothers say, well, what if I don't have a beard? It works from skin too, and the strength of a beard is manhood. What if I don't have a baby? Part of our purpose on earth is to keep the kids safe, no matter the relationship. At least that's what I thought. Our product helps spread message around the world as a symbol of growing together.
Hey, this is Gina A. Towns on Real Talk that takes you higher. Level up. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hi, this is George Vincent.
And Rick Irvin.
And we are the Heavenly Deposit Team, and we need you to level up.
Hey, this is your girl, Joanna Hill McGill, Walmart's first Next Gospel Superstar winner. I need you to level up.
This is Terry Cummings. Listen or watch Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked right here.
And welcome back. Welcome back to the Real Level Up. It's Mr. Scribe here. I am the host for today's men's show, and we're online with Zo-Alonzo Gross, author, musician, dancer. I mean, this brother does it all. And he's been with us for this entire show today. We've been just chopping it up really, really well. And right now, we're going to get into it. We just started before we had to go to break. Got to pay some bills, Alonzo. You know.
All good.
We was getting into the fact that him and his wife was going for a job. They both did get the job.
Yeah, yeah.
He noticed about her that she was fine, and then he went beyond that.
Well, yeah. Let me rewind it though. Let me rewind it how that happened. I was going to church, and after complaining to my pastor about yet another relationship that went down, out of nowhere, he just stopped church and said, "Let me just pray for this brother to find a wife." I'm like, "What you doing, man?" So we don't pray for Zoe to get a wife, and everybody they stretch their hands out, and they really prayed for me to find a wife because I was with woman and going and having a hard time. He said, "Look, I'm gonna find you a wife," and he did that prayer, and then maybe like a month later, that's when I met my wife. But the thing is, I didn't know that she wrote and all that until I had to talk to her, and I said, "You write poetry? What, you sing? You do art?" I'm like, "Okay, that's what I was praying about right there." And she's fine. See, she could have been all that and been ugly, but she had all that. I'm like, okay, because I was like, that's what I want, and God gives you the desires of your heart. I wanted all that. I wanted somebody fine, talented. I won't be afraid to ask. They give it to her, and I got it. So like, yeah, but I found that she writes poetry, and she had a book out that she did called Warmth and Greens, and she's just but she actually helped me with being a better artist. I credit my wife with that. I don't know if you're familiar with Betty Davis. She was Miles Davis's wife for a little bit. And they credit her with changing his whole style. Like before he had that black and white style, and Betty Davis came in. She was like Erykah Badu of her day. And she came in and she like hooked up Miles, an older guy, his style, and got him, and he made that awesome album, Bitches Brew, after that. And she got him into the jazz stuff. And that's what my wife's doing for me. She's younger. So she's bringing all the younger elements to me and keeping me fresh with stuff. And she's hard on me with my art. You can do better than that. You can get this out. And she's just pushing me. She's the only woman who I ever let in the studio, in the booth with me. That's always private when I'm in the booth recording. She's the only one who I let in there because I know that her intentions are to get me to get the best stuff out. And I'm like, you can't ask for a better wife. Yeah. And sometimes it hurts. Sometimes she's like, nah, that was whack. Do it again. But I can't ask for a better mother of my children than my wife. That's not only an artist, but someone that has my children, that is a good friend, that is talented in her own right. That she does poetry and art. And our kids are like that too. Our kids have the benefit of having two artistic parents. I only have one. My mother is really artistic with acting and writing, but my kids have two. We're both into multi aspects of art. We have three together. We have three babies, and the thing was, we also had three miscarriages right before that. The doctors told us, "There's no way you're gonna have kids. Your wife's not gonna have kids." I didn't accept that. I said, "There's no way. I'm not gonna. You can't tell someone like me you can't do something. I'll find a way." So we worked out. We got our diet right and all that. We worked together, and we conceived our first son, Bea, in 2017. And now we have three. We lost 3 kids, and we got 3 kids back. And I'm sure as in earth and as in heaven, we have 3 kids in heaven, but we have 3 kids on earth, and I'm very grateful for that.
That's the thing. That's what you talked about before. Things are going to happen in life, things that we don't understand, things that we're going to question God about, but we know His will is always, always for our betterment, even when we don't understand, but we know our minds can't come close to his mind whatsoever. So we what we do is we put our faith in him, and I'm speaking to folks that believe. I know there may be folks on that don't, but the thing is, try him. You don't have anything to lose. Try to see what happens, and if you see your life change, your life is going to be changed. But nobody said it was going to be simple. Nobody said it was easy. Anything that's worth anything. If you notice, just look at our lives. Anything that we worked for in life, when we had to struggle to get it, how much more gratifying it was when if you have things handed to you, we see it all the time. People can be selfish when things are handed to them as opposed to going out and working for it. We see human nature. We see it all the time.
Yeah, and I pray for that. I pray for God to give us children that are artistic. And my son, I mentioned he's 4. But when he was 2, he did this abstract. It's on the back of my book. It blew me away so bad that he was 2 years old, and did the abstract, put it on the back of my book. So he's credited at 3 years old with doing the back cover of my book. But because his mom's an artist, because he's into Basquiat, we got him into Basquiat early. So he's getting into that abstracts and stuff like that. So it's a beautiful thing. All of our kids are very artistic.
That's you and your wife with your influence. Both of you guys are artists with the understanding of what that entails. You're instilling that seed, and who knows how that seed is going to blossom.
Exactly.
It will come out in a myriad of things that you probably maybe not even imagine.
Exactly.
It's going to blossom in it, but you're planting the seed.
Yeah, we'll never be parents that tell them get a regular job, and that we'll never be that parents saying that's why we're making these moves now to the point where when our kids get older, they can just get into, if they want to, into the business, into writing, into music. We're going to open the door so when they get older, they don't have to work at jobs they don't necessarily like just to get there.
Let me ask you this as well. I see that you do recordings because you say you write lyrics and stuff and you record. Do you do any production? Like, do you write stuff and has other people gone, hey, Alonzo, I really like this piece you put together. Can I do the song and produce it and just generate funds or generate a whole new revenue stream, or just artistic by sharing your work through other artists? Have you gotten into that at all? Or
I'm getting into production. Like I wrote stuff for a friend of mine, and he sang it. Actually, he sang one of my poems and he performed it. But I want to get more into that more, because I'd like to produce too, like make beats. And I'm actually working right now on doing the audiobook for my book, Poems for You and Yours, for Christmas. But I don't want to do just a regular audiobook. I want to add like elements of like maybe jazz music in there and sounds. I want to get a total experience, not just an audiobook, but maybe an audio musical book. So I'm still putting that together, but I'll be producing mostly.
That concept sounds really, really good.
So I'm doing that. Yeah. But you're getting that up. We're doing that, getting that ready for Christmas. So hopefully it'll drop on Christmas. But I get the artists together, like the musicians. I want to make it, like I said, have a feeling to it, not just a reading thing. I want people to feel it and hear it, hear the raps, hear the cadence, but at the same time keep it very much an audiobook. It's not going to be too much music and all that stuff. It'll just be very like
the right combination of
This is something I've personally never seen done yet, where someone took an audiobook and added elements of music and sound effects and put it on my
I'm getting into voiceovers. The genre of voiceovers is audiobooks, and most of the times with the audiobooks, it just stays straight narration.
Yeah,
you basically give you read the chapters, and you can get into character depending on what the author would like. You can narrate this part, but this part I need to be in this particular voice.
Yeah,
and that takes a lot of talent to be able to keep up with the voices and change. I haven't done it yet. But that's a challenge, and I'm just starting out getting into that. So that would be interesting, like you said, to have it obviously spoken, but the musical element.
It'll be like they're listening to a concert. That's what I'm hoping. It's like they're listening to a audiobook concert. There'll be like music there, and I might add maybe something to the studio audience, clapping or something to make them feel like they're listening to a show. So that's where I'm at now. That's where I'm with the audiobook. And hopefully nobody sees that. Hopefully nobody will steal it. But hopefully nobody will steal this from me. But it's always going to be different when you do something. Even if somebody does this before I do, it's always going to be different because, like you said, we're different artists. But that's where I want to go. I want to open up a genre where people do audiobooks. Maybe there might be rappers that feel like they don't want to rap anymore, but they still want to get their words out. I want to open up a communication with other rappers that can. Maybe I want to rap, but maybe I put this into an audiobook and I can get back in the game of spoken word and do an audiobook. And I just want to get us, inspired. Too many brothers get to the age like I am. I'm 48, and by all accounts and purposes, I should not be rapping. I'm too old from what they say, and my best days are behind me. But I don't subscribe to that. It's the same way I never subscribed when the doctor said we couldn't have kids. Why would I subscribe to being too old to rap, but not subscribe to the doctor saying you will never have kids? It's not going to happen. So I want to open up that bridge for people that are older. And there's rappers that are doing it now, like Jay-Z, Nas, but they've already been in it already. I'm normally known like that. I'm coming out. So if my first album will come out, I might be 48, 49. But I can't be like, oh, and then they're going to make fun of me to combat that.
So
I gotta,
what man says. Because if God put it in you, doesn't matter what man says, because it's going to prosper, it's going to grow, and it's going to make an impact. And that's the other thing too. Sometimes we got to get out of our own way because we doubt. God's already given us a vision to move in a certain direction, but we're the ones, I'm too old, or and just stepping out of that. And we as artists, we take risks, we take chances. Like you said, you put out pieces where you felt, man, this is going to be the bomb. As opposed to, I'm not really sure about this one, but go ahead and release it.
Yeah.
Release it, and the feedback you get, it blows your mind.
Yeah, and it's funny, like when it does. It's funny when people say about being too old to rap. I'm like, have you heard Nas lately? How awesome he still can rap. Have you heard Jay-Z, almost 50? How good? It's not the time that makes it's the time it makes us more experienced. I have 48 years of rhyming and put words together. Whether I'm out there famous is no coincidence. Has nothing to do with that. I'm still just as seasoned as somebody that was out there. I'm just not out there yet. And that's where people get mixed up. They figure if I'm not famous, then I must not be good. No, it just wasn't your time yet. But keep doing the work in the meantime. Keep writing in the journal. Keep doing things that expand your mind. So when the time does come, you're like, okay, I'm ready. I just on the platform. I can just step out.
We just had someone make a comment. Alonzo, you don't look like you're 48.
I wouldn't lie. If I was gonna lie, I would say you're much younger if I was gonna lie. But no, I was born July 26, 1973.
To be able to, but the thing is good. This platform that Angie's had me share with her, I've been on with her about 3 years now, is that we get an opportunity to be able to reach people such as yourself. I wouldn't say you're not a regular guy, because what I'm saying, you're not regular because of the things that you're doing, but to give you an opportunity to say, my name is Zo-Alonzo Gross. Yeah, you on social media and all of that, but to let people who may not know who you are and what you're doing open up. And that's why I'm really happy to have you on the show today to share your story, because the thing is, it encourages other people, because like you just said, people get told all kinds of different, you're not involved to do that. To understand, I'm 63. I just turned 63 last Wednesday. I'm not going to let, you're too old to be a voiceover artist or whatever. If my voice, and people have told me, and God, basically, the main thing is He shared with me, you're blessed with certain things. Continue to listen to my voice and tune out the noise. Because most people's inclination, let's just be real, Alonzo, is to be negative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we're going through a whole process. My wife and I talk about it all the time about wearing a mask, not wearing a mask. I'm not going to get political, but the thing is, it's a choice. And she said, well, people are selfish. And she's right. A lot of people don't think about others. They think about themselves. But we as believers, we know we're here to serve. Like you said it so many times during our conversation. My work, my artistic work, is to benefit someone else. I enjoy writing it. I enjoy
that.
I enjoy it, but it's not for me. It's for somebody.
Yeah, it's somebody else. That's one of the things I would be upset about too. I said, I prayed to God. I said, please make me wealthy, not for me so much, but so I can help other people. It's such a horrible feeling when someone's going through something and I can't help them. And if I had the money, I would help them. And that's what I want. If anything, I'm gonna have my toys. I'm gonna have cars and stuff, a few things. But like Forrest Gump said, after a while, it's like showing off, like too many stuff. I want to have my toys, of course, but my main thing, I want to be a philanthropist. I want to help people pay their rent, go to college, help somebody whose medical bills were messed up. And that's where that makes you like almost brings tears to my eyes to be able to help somebody do that. And when I can't do that, that's
a huge thing. And
I'm like, oh, I wish I could
do that.
Yeah, because I would do it.
Do that, yes.
I would do it, and that's all part of the.
No, that's the ramifications behind it, right? Well,
that's
the premise is not about me. That's the whole.
Yeah.
Where all things come from. People need to understand that when God gifts you with a talent, it's not about you.
No, not at all.
You're just a vessel that the talent goes through to serve someone else.
Yeah.
If anything you need to get from today's program and what this brother's talking about, it's not about you. If you're gifted, whatever gift, financial, teaching, whatever it is, the Bible talks about some are teachers, some are prophets. Everybody has a role to play. And once you're revealed what your role is, you don't bury it, you don't push it to the side, you don't ignore it. You nurture it and allow it to grow, because once it grows, it's going to branch out and it's going to touch others. Because what does the Bible talk about? Fruit. It talks about if you're the tree of the vine, what kind of fruit? Because I'm looking at the tree, but I'm looking at what kind of fruit you're producing.
Yeah.
I see you talking this and that. Okay, I'm going to listen to Alonzo's words, real pop, but I'm watching what he's doing.
Yeah, watch what I'm doing.
And if your words match up to your actions, that's everything.
Exactly. No, but it's that's the one thing I pray for. I pray to get successful in this business, not to be flossed, to help people and pay rent, and that's the stuff that because I've been there where rent was late, the car was late.
Oh man,
and I've been there. So and I would love, my wife said that too. We love to have money to help people pay that stuff and not embarrass them. We've had companies before in the past pay our rent, but they embarrassed you so bad, the process they did to pay it.
So you know, if you get an opportunity, you'll know how to do it differently.
Yeah, I'm like, is your rent late? Here's the money. Is your rent late? Here, within reason, not, but I make sure that's a huge burden when you have that, especially for an artist. Like, it's hard when you want to write something, but your rent is due. When you want to write something, and it's off.
Your mind is right, and that's the human element.
That's the human aspect.
And that's the human condition that we all live in. We all know that we're all sinful. We all know that we're flawed. We all know that we're not perfect. So all these different distractions, which the enemy uses to derail us, to take us off course, to make us want to give up and make us want to quit. But it's the ones that persevere and stay true to the path. Those are the ones that, because my wife tells me all the time, a lot of situations are temporary. They're not permanent.
Yeah, exactly. So I just look at it that way. Like I said, it's about sharing it with the people. And however God chooses to reward me, that's God's decision how He chooses to reward me. But I'm here, like I said, I'm a public servant. I want to get the work out and I want to write the books that I want to read. Like I like to put out stuff. They always say, be the type of artist or person that you are. So I put out stuff, and the audiobook I'm doing is something that I would like to have heard. So I just figured I would just create, myself, and hopefully it'll bring other people into the fold to do audiobooks in a different type of way. So.
No, that idea is excellent. We've got to go to another break. We're going to be, we've got about a couple of more segments left. So I'm just going to try to pick your brain a little bit more on your dance. We really haven't gotten into that aspect yet. So when we come back from this break, we'll be talking to Alonzo Gross regarding his dance. Is he moonwalking? Is he doing classical? What's going on? We'll find out after the break. This is Real Level Up, conversation that takes you higher. We'll be right back after the break.
You wanna know if
energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy.
My G, coming through the crowd raw, big dog. You don't really wanna feel these claws. See, God loves me anyway, despite these flaws. So I gotta get a little buck while yeehaw. My God giving y'all the blessings, so I never tap out. No time for stressing. I'm confessing that I'm still learning lessons. When I get knocked down, get up stepping, cause I know how my blessings flow. Started from the crown down to the tiptoe. Holy Spirit, you the one that missed this flow, cause I'm talking about you and the whole trio. The Father's on top and they call me mijo. For my Latinos, it's Jesucristo. My God, my Lakewood. If you didn't know, I'ma speak English, me amigo.
Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy.
Somebody tell me whose man's is this? Flip flop, they crisscross, wanna jump when they plotting the whole twist. Well, hey, Mr. Big Stuff, now tell me who you think you are. Call Gene Knight, cause you know you're dismissed. I got a lot of enemies, they draining my energy, but telling my energy is inside of my energy. If I'm at a dead end, I'm counting on real friends, the type that will help you and open the Red Sea. Never make a promise that you can't keep. Nobody really likes to bluff, that's a wedge so deep. If you're gonna repent, then I suggest an upkeeping. If that energy drain, then throw away the whole thing. Sometimes you gotta cut the cord to keep moving forward, to be a valuable piece within this gaming board. What's done in the dark is brought to the light, it's heads or tails. So tell me how you call it, alright? Listen, hot or cold, ain't no man in the middle, cause if it gets spit out, ain't no stopping this riddle. You're headed on a dead end, on a one way. I know you see the sign, read it what the Lord say. On the periodic table, I'm an element, and me and God got a chemistry. So next time you ever think about attacking me, well,
make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy.
I'm living for God for real. I go fishing for real. I'm like a Navy SEAL, toting that Pelican bill. I'm just a kid full of skittles, no riddle, it's simple. I love it with all of my energy, I get empty. In the forefront, I'm up on my tip. I think I saw Jesus.
The broadcast, the Facebook Live has
oh, you don't believe all that sweet honey, please. I get hyped through the night. Oh, my energy goes spike. Oh, I think I see the light.
Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy.
Hello, my name is Rodney Damon Collins. I'm an actor, producer, author, and speaker. I'm excited to share my first book entitled Shattered, A Journey Through the Pieces. I wrote this book because there are millions of people like me in this world who are searching for purpose while navigating emotional distress. This book is for anyone who wants to be the producer of their own life. The reader will be encouraged to know that if they, 1, keep God first, 2, learn how to make peace with the pieces in our lives, and finally, 3, never deter from your dreams, that you will see your purpose fulfilled. I love you, and go grab this book on Amazon.com, Shattered, A Journey Through the Pieces.
Have you been sluggish, bloated, overweight? You could be toxic from your environment, food, and medications. It's time for a clean start. Come by or book online today.
Someone Cares of Atlanta is a nonprofit 501c3 community-based organization providing holistic health and wellness with locations in Marietta and Metro Atlanta. Our qualified behavioral health professionals provide extensive counseling and treatment in substance abuse, mental health, and opioid addiction. Someone Cares offers a variety of services, and our professionals are waiting to serve you. We are not just an agency, we are a friend.
Rain Premium Sanitary Napkin. Rain has an innovative design that is made with a strip infused with Nobel Prize-winning material, graphene. The infused graphene strip may provide various health benefits that potentially help relieve painful abdominal cramps, help balance the body's pH, help eliminate harmful bacteria, help with aroma, help fight fatigue, boost metabolism, boost immune system. Graphene moves heat away from your core and contains vibrational energy. In this test, we will add water to the graphene strip and then place a 7-watt light bulb onto the strip to demonstrate the level of energy contained. These medical claims have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All results may vary. Protect the most precious jewel in the world, you. For more information, contact the person who referred you to this video. Rain is exclusively designed by Jewel Sanitary Napkins, LLC.
It's been long enough that you've been walking around in the wilderness trying to figure out, who am I? Why am I here? What gifts do I have to make a difference? Well, it's time to warm it up. Discover your true identity. Unleash your gifts and impact the world to become a more bolder, braver, and courageous you. Join me, Kathy Hood, at a life-changing workshop, Woman Up, the journey of owning your power and unleashing your true self.
In every way, let the people see, let them see, and make sure you know you're right. Oh, when you speak.
What's up, it's your boy Fred Jones. Let's level up on Sundays 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Yo, level up, real talk that takes you higher with your boy Mike Jeezy. Tune in Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's Dr. Robert Frazier, CEO of Silk Educational Consulting, and it's time to level up every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Real talk that takes you higher.
Hey, this is Miguel Nunnery of Babies and Beards. Keep it locked right here as we level up, giving a voice to the unvoiced, with real talk that takes you higher. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
And welcome back to the Real Level Up. Mr. Scribe, your host for our All Men show today with Alonzo Gross. We're getting ready to, man, time flies by, brother. We
Definitely.
Almost to the last segment of the show, and when we went to break, you know, we got to pay these bills, so get just here and there. Wanted to go into you sharing a little bit about your dance aspect. So you like a Renaissance man, poet, rapper, artist, and all of these different things.
Appreciate it.
So how does the dance fit into your artistic background?
The dancing I did around the same time as like when I started writing. Like my brother, like I tell you, my brother Bobby Ivory, it's my brother. Mystic, he was a DJ Mystic, Unique, that's his name. But my brother, he called me Renaissance man. My brother was a Renaissance man. He's the one that taught me like he watched Soul Train and then showed me the moves he saw on Soul Train. And like for some reason he just kept. I said, "Why are you doing this?" He would every day wake me up and teach me dancing and stuff. And I said, "Why?" And he said, "I don't know. I don't know why, but he just kept teaching me how to dance and showing me stuff. Maybe it was God, but he showed me the dancing and we were actually in a breakdancing group called the Mid-City Breakers back in the 80s. I was the youngest one in the group. I was hopping and locking and stuff. But my brother's the one that nurtured the dancing thing. Then, of course, I watched movie Breakin', and then actually became friends with, I don't know if you remember Turbo from Breakin'. Yeah, me and him actually friends on Facebook. We're gonna do a interview in the next coming months. But I've been talking to him for a lot and picking his brain about his dancing because he's the one that actually showed Michael Jackson a lot of moves. There was a time when Michael Jackson was doing like robotic stuff, but then people noticed like later on in his career, Michael started getting really good at popping and locking. It's because he had a really great teacher. He had great, legitimate poppers and lockers teaching him how to do those moves and those ticks. And Turbo, Michael Chambers was one of them. So I learned from watching people like my brother and Michael Jackson, of course. Michael was somebody who I really like when he passed, it was so traumatizing. I had my people calling me, asking me if I was okay, because I was the unofficial understudy of Michael Jackson for as long as I can remember. So back in '93, when I was a Temple freshman, I got a chance to perform at the Apollo at amateur night. I sent the video to you and everything, but it was
I saw that. Yes.
Yeah, it was a video, but I think I was like 17 or 16, but I wasn't real nervous. I was just because they say if you're nervous when you're there, then you're doing something wrong. I get all my nerves out before I do something. Once I got to the show, it was not a game. It was like, okay, now you got to do what you're here for. But that went well. I didn't win, but I didn't get booed. I got a pretty decent reception. So yeah, so like in my mind, I won. Like I can't, I don't care. I won because I didn't get booed. I didn't embarrass my hometown. I didn't embarrass Temple University, my family. So I was grateful. But the dancing is very much intertwined with the writing. Like when I do videos, I'm gonna start incorporating more of my dancing in the videos. And like I said, it goes into my background from watching my brother break dancing and all that. And then I took up ballet as well. Like whenever I learned something, I want to get into the finer aspects of it. Like it wasn't enough for me just to be a dancer. I wanted to learn ballet. So I took ballet when I was in college. I took jazz. I took tap, modern. To bring like a whole broader, spectrum, like I did with the writing. Like I always knew how to rap a little bit. But I wanted to learn how to do classical writing and classical like Shakespeare and stuff. And at the same token, I want to learn how to be a great dancer like Fred Astaire or the Nicholas brothers. People like that is what I studied. So then, like I said, all that they all feed each other. That's what I love about being an artist. Like since I'm a writer and I also rap, the rapping is going to help out with the poetry, and then the poetry will help out with the rap, and then the dancing will help out with the poetry and the rap because the dancing will bring in aspects of the writing to make it look like a dance. That's why I say for me, it's like performance art. It's not just enough to write. I want to dance, like you said, off the pages and dance with this inflection and with the cadence and how it appears aesthetically. I want to make all those things pop to give you not just a experience, but like, a reading experience, but something that you can remember for a long time. But the dancing is like something that's always with me. Yeah.
And I'm sitting here just thinking, what a powerful thing for young folks. If I'm thinking like put together some type of program that young people can get involved with to start teaching them, hey, tap into that part of you, poetry or different type of thing, or just English literature itself. Start reading.
Yeah.
Reading just what's in front of you, but the classics. There's so many
classics.
African American authors dealing with classical. Yeah, we got Moby Dick and Treasure Island and all those type of things, which open up the door of all literature because reading is going to feed that creativity.
Absolutely.
And it's going to give them that voice. Like you developed your voice from Dr. Seuss and these things, and now Alonzo is you. When I see that, the way you spell your name with the capital Z-O and all those different things, that's unique character yourself. If you read my work, I've been called a philosophical poet because if they read my work, it gives them some type of thought or some type of questioning something or being inquisitive. So that's my niche, and you have yours as well.
Yeah.
And basically be able to, because we all notice that I have that it could be other artists getting a little bit envious or who do you think he is with his style, but it's not about that. It's about he's got his place, I got my place. Collaboration is cool.
Yeah.
Different places is cool because we're going the same journey, but on two different ways.
Yeah, and I would tell people that you have to be careful. Like many times when I was studying different artists, you have this tendency to want to compare your work to theirs, and when you're studying someone, you should not do that. Because I did that one. I just got listened to a Kendrick Lamar track, and it blew my mind so bad. I started looking at my own work, and I'm like, I don't measure up, and it gave me a writer's block for like 3 months off of just hearing one of his songs. I'm like, okay, that's Kendrick's story, or that's Eminem's thing. They're focus on yours. So it's hard because we have a tendency to like, how do I measure up to that guy? And then you might want to rip up your paper and I haven't been doing nothing all these years compared to that, but that's their journey. And if you just, like I said, just keep doing the work, but sometimes it does sting when you hear somebody and they're really, really good. You're like,
we're human beings.
That slight sting.
We're human beings, so you know what? You learn over time. You got thick skin, but sometimes things penetrate because it's sometimes words can be hurtful.
Yeah.
And if you're told, well, we do it to ourselves sometimes. Well, like you said, man, I don't think this is good enough. I don't think, or you put something out there and it doesn't, you feel good about it, but you don't get the reception that you think that you should get. But that just means dig deeper into the craft.
Dig deeper,
dig deeper, because you're going to hit on something. And the thing about it, it may take a very long time. But see, that's the mystical thing that we get entrapped with.
Yeah.
You know this, being in music. A lot of artists that we just hit the scene, they've been doing it for 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
But because their opportunity came and now they're being released. But and that's where the trick comes in, because everybody, oh, look, they just came out of nowhere, they're blowing up. But they were doing the same thing at the little holes in the wall 10 years before. It's only now that they get the opportunity to explode and things like that. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. The young lady, I forgot what college she went to, that did the poem at the inaugural.
Amanda Gorman, yeah.
Now, she was writing poetry in college, and she was getting probably some accolades and some good critique from her stuff. But once she stood on that podium and did it in front of a national audience, look how her life changed.
Exactly.
Her life changed completely. Oprah endorsed her book. Her book shot to a #1 seller. She's doing other things based on that one thing that happened to her changed her entire life.
But she was ready. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But she had been writing poetry years before that.
For a while. Yeah, she was ready. She put the work in. She put her reps in. And when it came time for that, she's like, I'm ready. I've been working out this whole time, and I'm ready.
That's what people need to understand. It doesn't come easily. It's something that you have to work at. And there's going to be times that you're going to get frustrated. There's going to be times that you may feel like giving up. But it's the people that persevere through the adversity that end up reaping the reward. Because like we said before, how good does it feel when you get the validation? When God validates stuff, you know it's Him validating.
Yeah.
And you sit down, you're thinking, wow, man, I almost gave up. And I really and God moved me to write this one piece, and that piece exploded.
Yeah, it'll change your life. Or you might hear something that might inspire you to keep going. Like work or music or dance. Like, I'm going to keep going. This person inspired me because I can relate to that person, how their struggles and stuff. So that's all I see.
And it's not a competition. I looked at your work, and I see a lot of that on Facebook a lot of times too. You'll see somebody post a piece, because you could tell that they're trying to outdo. And I'm like, that's not. And I'll leave some groups because I'm like, that's not.
Yeah.
I'll be in a group that's going to critique. Hey, Nolan, hey, what about this direction for this particular? Or what was you thinking when you wrote this?
Yeah.
We're sharing ideas, and I'm picking your brain, you're picking my brain. Because that's one thing I do when I'm on an interview, because the people that interview me, or you too as well, they'll be like, Zo-Alonzo, like you just shared the cutting piece. Hey, I got into character. I put myself in her position as to why she was doing this. I'm not a woman, but my mind can go to that dark place. I wrote a poem one time. A friend of mine just came to me and said recovery, because her friend was in a program, substance abuse, and I had been in that place before. So she just gave me the title. Recovery is the name of the piece. So I just took that. I went into that place, which is not a place to go into. Out all that stuff that I was involved with doing, and what my mindset was at that time, something I had left behind. But obviously in our memories, we can go back to those things. And I wrote a piece, and my validation was she had enough courage to read it in her group.
Oh, wow.
Is to the people in the group. So that was my validation, regardless if it didn't have to be sold or monetized or anything. The fact that she shared it, she had the courage to share it. I went to that place. It was an easy place to go to.
That's not easy.
The only people that could understand that is an artist. Just like anybody that struggled with something, and we've all struggled with things, so people should be able to relate what we're talking about. When you're struggling, you feel you're alone. You feel that you're abandoned. You feel that nobody's in your corner, but you don't realize your struggle is kind of the same as somebody else. You just
just don't know it. Yeah, and that's also one of the things I was raised by, a single mother, my mother, but so I would see her sometimes be upset and cry. I would see how she handled things from a woman's perspective, rejection, how she handled, happy times. So when I write these poems from a woman's perspective, and I have a lot of poems I write for women and about women, and I get the learning I got was from being around my mother so much, and my aunts, and just studying women artists like Gwendolyn Brooks, the great poet, Maya Angelou. I like to get into the woman's because that makes you, because every man and woman has that, every man has that feminine side. They don't want to tap into it. Doesn't mean that you're going to go off and explore that. It just means that, like, for example, for my audiobook with certain pieces, I'm going to probably manipulate my voice to sound more like a woman for a certain piece. Doesn't mean I'm going to subscribe to any type of homosexuality like that.
That's what we as men.
That's what men
said. But that's what that's an important point. That's why I interrupt you. But the thing about it is to be able to do that without, because the people judgment comes. It's like I'm putting myself in a female role to emphasize a certain point that I'm trying to make in this particular piece of art. Yeah. And it's not about any of that other stuff.
It's not me at all.
It's just me getting into character to do this particular piece. And for whatever reason, sometimes we men don't get it. It's like, oh, he's this, or they want to put a label on it when I understand what you're doing. You're saying he's putting himself in a place where this woman is in a certain place, and he's putting himself, voice, character, and all of that. He's just stepping out of himself.
Yeah.
He's still Alonzo. He's just stepping out for a minute. He'll step back into himself once that's done. And it's interesting that you should bring that up, because I think our September shows are going to be dealing with domestic violence.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to be doing a men's show. So from a man's perspective, because a lot of times we read about domestic violence, it's from the women's perspective. As far as they're being devalued and the narcissistic behavior and all these types of things. How do we as men, because I was taught a long time ago, respect women and be empathetic towards them, because they have feelings just like you have feelings.
Absolutely.
A lot of guys, with the machismo and all those other things to devalue. We see it in our music. We see it with all these different cases coming up where these women have been devalued and abused by powerful men with money. And, God can eradicate all this stuff. But if we're in a position to bring light to that and be able to emphasize it, then that's part of what he wants us to do.
Yeah, and that's the part I see that I think it's very manly of somebody that can step out of themselves and be like that. A lot of songs. Absolutely. Tupac did that a lot with it. Brenda got a baby, baby don't cry. Pac was raised by a single mother as well. I'm not making any comparison. I'm just saying he was raised by a mother. And I dare somebody to say he wasn't. Yeah, I dare somebody to say he wasn't a real brother. He was a real brother. Yeah. But he could talk to the women. He could talk. But I think that made him even more of a great artist and more of a real,
you can tap into those type of things without the fear of, like you said earlier, not worrying about the outside noise, but tapping into where you can go to pull out what you need to get out of yourself. You staying true to yourself. Yeah. And that's what I call being self-aware. When you're self-aware, doesn't matter what other people say about you, because you're so self-aware in yourself and you know what God is giving you. I'm just giving him the glory. So I'm not worried about what you have to say or what you're feeling. As long as I'm on doing what he wants me to do.
Exactly.
I'm doing the right thing.
And the work has to stand up too. Like I said, I'm 48, but I got to make sure my work is up to a certain level where all they could make fun of is my age, not the work. If they're gonna clown me being 48, so be it. But you ain't gonna clown the work. That's why I'm doing the work. I'm gonna make sure that I do that. Yeah, you're gonna clown me anyway, whatever. But you're not gonna be able to clown the work. I'm gonna put my heart into it to a point where if God gives it to me, it'll be undeniable to people. Absolutely. So I don't worry about that. I'm saying that in all humility. I don't. If they're gonna critique my age or that I'm whatever, but not the work. That's why I'm making steps to make sure that it's something different. That it's a cut above just writing and music and stuff like that.
And another point he just made, he made a point of He's being true to himself. Now, if you find a person that you can trust, then you can share your work with them because you know that they're going to give you honest feedback. You can't share with everybody. You can't ask everybody because, like you said, people try to tear yourself apart because they don't like you or they're
thinking about you.
But if you find a true mentor, get with them because they're going to give you an honest assessment of where you are. And they're not going to tell you now. They're going to just say, hey, maybe you need to do this, or maybe you need to look more or dig deeper into this. But we're going to go to break. And we come back to the last segment. We're going to continue on this, being true to you, but we're also going to make sure that you share every place where a person can get in contact with you, because we got some young folks listening. I know out there that are listening that need to contact you to kind of push them over there to get them to start on their own. So again, it's the Real Level Up conversation that takes you higher. We're taking a break right now. We'll be right back.
Hey there, girl. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you have a beautiful smile. Can we chat for a second?
What's your name? What's your sign? What you doing later on? What you doing later on? Yeah. It's okay if you're shy. Am I coming on a little too strong? Ooh. All my friends call me Al and I like to have fun. Yes, I do. But I'm all grown up and we can have a deep conversation. You wanna hesitate? Oh yeah. Is it getting kinda late? For me to take you on a date? Oh God, it's only 5 o'clock in the evening. The look on your face, oh yeah, it's like you're having a debate. It's like you really wanna stay. But you think you should be leaving. So I ask, where you gotta go? What you need to know? Maybe you should hang with me. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Please don't tell me no. Come on. Maybe you should hang with me, girl. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. I'm a chill kind of guy. We ain't gotta have a drink. We ain't gotta have a drink. No. See, I was born with this smile, and I don't mind saying what I think. I believe in respect. Yes, I do. I won't be leaving the check. Not with you. See, I don't mind when we're down if I get a little time in exchange. But you wanna hesitate? Oh yeah. Is it getting kinda late? For me to take you on a date? Oh God, it's only 5 o'clock in the evening. The look on your face, it's like you're having a debate. You really wanna stay? Please stay. But you're thinking you should be leaving. So I ask, where you gotta go? What you need to know? Maybe you should hang with me. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Please don't tell me no. Come on. Maybe you should hang with me. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Don't let this moment pass us by, 'cause we may never get this chance again. Don't waste this moment asking why. Maybe you should give us a try tonight. Where you gotta go, girl? Where you gotta go? What you need to know, girl? Come on. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Please don't tell me no. Please don't tell me no. See, all you gotta do is come on. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. So tell me where you gotta go. Where you gotta go? What you need to know? Maybe you should hang. I think maybe you should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Oh, come on. Please don't tell me no. Come on. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang with me for a while.
Yeah, Mike Jeezy. This one's for you, Father. For sure. Cause despite the women, money, cars, and clothes, yeah, at the end of the day, tell them I choose you. Yeah, that's right. I put that on my mama, homes. Yeah, that's right. get. Mike Jeezy on the scenery, beating my speakers, they yelling out, why you mistreating me? I'm never leaving these, I'm never leaving G.O.D. Got a problem with it, throw them deuces, peace. Cause I ain't gotta know you, I know the Holy Spirit. If you ain't got it, then get like Shouty and get it. Some people will try to tell you prosperity is a joke. That's cause they reaping the very same drama that they sold. Take a second to read your Bible, shout it, then you know. Shout out to Obama, but this year Jesus got my vote. He wins it every time, there ain't no need to lie. Drunk off the spirit, communion, sipping that holy wine. Saved me too many times, why would I turn around? I wanna see all you have to offer, father to child. Yeah, I lost 2 daddies in my lifetime, but the third time's a charm, and I know you'll do me right. That's why I choose you. Come on. That's why I choose you. Now say you chose me, so I choose you. Yeah, 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 come on. I feel like I'm at the top of my game, on a mountain that I can move at the sound of his name. A mustard seed of faith is all it takes to break down barriers. Spiritual post office, holy mail carrier. Nothing's more scarier thinking I can't have you. That's why I got to grab you. My life to use a passion, pedal to the metal for the Lord like I was dragging. His love for me is always free for that, never taxing. Bagging as much as the spirit as I can handle. And now I can say you are the flame to my candle. I wanna be the most God-fearing two-legged mammal. The way of the world has 1,000,001 scandals, but the call of righteousness opens to one channel. The way is very narrow, that's why many don't travel. So with my talents, I'ma do what it do. And every time I spit a verse, gotta give it to you. I choose you. Yeah, that's right. Say, I choose you. One more time, homie. Everybody say, you chose me, so I choose you. Yeah.
I'm Dr. Latrace Brookshire, and welcome to Ask the Good Doctor. And we are live here at the Essex Culinary Resort and Spa.
We're here at the Wellness Warriors Weekend, and there are wonderful local companies here representing products that are wellness-based.
Just finished water aerobics. I enjoyed myself able to do movements that I could never do on dry land. I feel like I'm 20 again.
We got to relax and really breathe and really connect with our bodies, and I loved it. Everything that this book is, it's your story. It's your story, it's your story, it's everybody's story.
You must stand where there is darkness, we must find light.
It was Grandma who instilled in her that she must hold her head up straight.
If you've got to be 25 to 30 years old and you've not talked with a therapist, put the book down and go get a therapist.
Finding vision, compassion, authenticity, abundance, and legacy.
As the theme goes so far this evening, you gotta get that stuff out.
I consistently pause before I speak.
I'm Dr. Wilma Hunt Watts, a podiatric physician and surgeon, also known as a podiatrist.
We're here doing a pain management clinic.
All of these skincare collections are designed to be mixed and matched, depending on what your skincare needs are.
Angee, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
And today we are doing Kitchen Warriors. At Kitchen Warriors, I actually prepare a meal, teach everyone how to make it, and then we sit down and eat it together. This is from outside. This is the whole farm to table concept here at the Essence.
The fruits of the Spirit have been reignited inside of me. So I'm walking out of here with my joy, with my peace, and my love. So I am a better mother, a better wife when I go back home.
I knew something was wrong with my body.
Hi, my name is Kelly Bryant, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. The series is about how I used a low-carb diet lifestyle change to get my numbers in non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes, one number at a time.
Hi, this is Terry Cummings, formerly of the NBA, retired after 18 years, 18 seasons in the league. Just been chilling, working hard, though I think you work harder when you retire, but nevertheless running companies, pastoring 14 years, CEO over a hybrid of a television station of cable and streaming, and finally pushing toward the bid for the Hall of Fame. Level up and join us.
You are listening to Level Up with Bob Barrett-Wall from Enter the Diamond.
Hey, this is Rodney Damon Collins, inviting you to Level Up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, this is Shay Barnes with Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur. Let's level up. Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Hi, this is Pat Nash, your dream coach. Want to take your dreams to the next level? Then listen to Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. I am.
Hey, this is Miguel Nunnery of Babies and Beards. Let's have a real conversation with Level Up every Sunday, 3 to 6 p.m.
And welcome back to the Real Level Up. This is Mr. Scribe, Nolan P. Holloway Jr., who's hosting the show today, and our guest, Zo-Alonzo Gross. This is our last segment. We got a few minutes. So what I need you to do is I need you to share your social media platform. Where can people get in contact with you? And then give us some parting thoughts or whatever's on your heart. And then we'll wrap the show up for today. See, those 3 hours go by fairly quick, brother.
It does go fast, man. Yeah, I have an Instagram. You can catch me on Instagram at Zo-Alonzo Gross. That's at Zo-Alonzo Gross. And then I have my Facebook page, of course, Zo-Alonzo Gross on there as well. And then I have a Zo Music fan page as well. It says Zo Music fan page. And I have a Zo Music on SoundCloud. And then I also have a Zo Music on YouTube. So it's a lot of places, and I'll send it out to you so people can find it. I'll share that link out for you.
Yes.
You can email me at anytime at alonzogross73@gmail.com. That's alonzogross73@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email. I'm asking people that actually purchased my book to shoot me an email to get their thoughts and about the book, and I'm trying to get like a mailing list for the people that purchase my books and stuff like that. But I wanted to leave you with this, a few things in regards to mastering one's art. I would suggest artists read Robert Greene's book called Mastery. In the book, I'll just take a few minutes. He talks about mastering your art, and I came up with an acronym. It's called OCD. The original mind, O, is the part when you're young, like you're a kid, and every color is beautiful. And what's that? That's a tree. What color is that? When everything's exciting as a kid. And applying that to your art, that's the excitement you have when you first discover your art. You're in love with it. And then the conventional part, the OC, the C part comes when you actually go to school. You learn the ethics of your art, like the lines and this and the formal training, if you may. That's the conventional part. Then there's the last part, which is the dimensional mind, which is the combination of the excitement you had as a kid and your formal training put together, or the training that you had learned, and then you become something different. Like people that do this is people like Prince that have the knowledge of music, but then they all have that imagination. And I would encourage artists to keep that imagination as a child that you had as a child in regards to your art, and always find it exciting, always find new ways like kids do, but always have that like you said, that foundation of the training. So it's not just you putting out crazy stuff. There's stuff that has meaning, but there's training behind it. But there's also that risk and the excitement and imagination that you had as a kid. And that's what I picked up. That's why I think about a lot when I write stuff. I'm like, am I being true to myself? Am I being free? Am I being, there's nothing more attractive than a free artist. People love free artists. Only problem with free artists sometimes is their life coincides with their freedom and they self-destruct sometimes. But that freedom is very much needed in music, and that's when people say there's something missing. It's that freedom. It's that artists that want to go the extra mile for their fans to do something different. And having said that, I would like to finish off with a poem I wrote for my book called God of Schizophrenia. This one is actually it's right here. This one was inspired by, I read the book by Neil forgot his name, Neil Grass Diamond. I can't remember his name, but he wrote a book called Conversations with God. And I'm not sure if you read that book, and it's like he's not sure if he's crazy or he's talking to God, but he's getting all these insights. And I'm like, well, that part inspired a poem. So I wrote a poem called God of Schizophrenia, where I'm actually questioning if this guy talking to me or myself. And here it is right here. Sitting on the stairs, dark nights in my prayers, speaking aloud to God, asking why, oh why are things so dang hard? It won't kill you, a voice said. I am merely showing you the real you. Sitting on the stairs. Wait, what? Was this all in my head? Yes and no. I give you shortcomings to help you to grow. God, yup, whatever you want to call me. Your miracle of life, your sight, your light, that's right, that's all me. Expressing me through you. I give my blessing for you to do what you do. Okay, God, but I don't know how much more I can take. And how are you so sure that I'm not going to break? Because I see all, past, present, as well as things to come. Wherefore I know though you fall, you shall rise as the sun. Lord, can I be frank? I already know you will. Lord, why are so many good people getting killed? Everyone has a date. That's all I can say. Plus your human mind couldn't fathom plans divine anyway. Just know I will give you long life, prosperity, and health, children and a beautiful wife. Many of these things have already come to pass. Share your gifts with the world. That is all that I ask. For I bless you with them so that you could be a blessing. My words through you will help others whom are stressing. Everything that has happened, my son, is meant to be. No, the Lord your God shall have no coward ever represent me. Tears in my eyes, I rose from the stairs. Redeemed it seemed, dark nights in my prayers. No more panic and cold stares, manic or mania, church or asylum, God of Schizophrenia. So that's one of the last pieces in my book. And when I did that, it was in real time. I'm like, am I crazy? Is God really saying stuff? But the way you can measure that is the stuff you're saying lining up? Is the stuff you're saying, is it positive? Is it lining up? Is it's not bad? If it's something positive, then it must be, from God, because God, all things good come from God. So I like that I was having a conversation with God, or it's schizophrenia. Either way, the message is out. It's out there, and like I said, it's none of my business. What it does after that. I just wanted to get the message. I wanted to have that conversation, I think, and do that.
Whichever way it comes, that's the way it comes.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to say, Alonzo Gross, it's been real. I've really enjoyed having this conversation with you and basically picking out the different aspects of your art. And as a fellow artist, let me say this. Review and let the artist know what you think. Don't just like the work. Don't just give constructive. No, I'm saying this to people, the audience, because that's what we need. That's what he needs. The feedback from you. If he puts a piece out, you don't like it, let him know why you don't like it. Dig into what turned you off or made you feel a certain way about it. The only way he's going to get better, or we as artists are going to get better, is the feedback we get from you. We know we need to put it out, but we need the feedback. So leave a review. If you're going to purchase the book, leave a review. Any artist, that's the one thing that we would like. for you to leave a review. If you find on Amazon, their website, leave a review, because that shows the artist, hey, I've not only purchased your book, but I thought enough of you to actually send you a review. And on that note, we're going to wrap up again. Alonzo, thank you. I'm going to stay in touch, because I'm really interested in the things you got coming down the road. Who knows? Collaboration can happen.
Absolutely.
This can happen. So I just want to thank you again. And we're going to share his social media platform. So if you guys that are listening today want to get in touch. So we'll be back next week, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central Time, 12 o'clock Western Time. We want to say goodbye, peace and love. And again, Alonzo, thank you for being a guest on The Real Level Up. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.